Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Against the Fence, where this is the place to be if you're obsessed and passionate about the UFC, and you're definitely passionate about the sport of mixed martial arts if you're joining us from the USA today. Hello and welcome.
What's the time over in the US? It's between 1 o'clock and 10 p.m.?
Yep, it is 1 a.m. on the East Coast, 10 p.m. on the West Coast. And
they feel like us, don't they? They feel like us on a weekly basis right now.
Brown,
this is just
laptop.
Oh yeah, this is just a normal what do you call it? Normal Saturday for us. Let me get a charger.
Yeah. Oh god, most important things. We haven't even started. Yes, welcome in, guys, and of course, if this is bright and early in the UK, welcome everybody. If you're still asleep and you're catching us the next day, don't forget to use the chapters below. They'll be in the description, so don't forget about that. Lots to talk about tonight, of course. We probably might even talk to you guys about the Conor McGregor return and him coaching against Michael Chandler and the tough
crazy
31.
news.
I know, pumped for that. So and then hopefully
like you said, to be fair, like there was a lot of stick going around about because obviously Tony Ferguson was once going to be it, like because they offered it to him and obviously went back and forth. But come on, let's be realistic. I'd rather Chandler versus Conor as coaches. And then as a fight at the end of it as well.
Well, to be fair, I think that Tony just jumped on the bandwagon when Conor originally put it out there. And, you know, obviously for a reaction and see what people were saying.
But, why wouldn't you? You're not silly, right?
Maybe perhaps we'll get more into that later on. You might have noticed they've got something in the top right corner, which has £12.
Yes, I'm just going to check that now.
One. Now, what that's all about is basically a little game that me and Ash are playing every single week, where we put an amount of money on one particular fighter, our most confident fighter on the main card, and it's not necessarily the most favourite. It's just our most confident pick, and we're seeing how many weeks we can grow the prize fund. So last time out at the UFC 282, we picked Gilbert Burns. We both put £5 each into the kitty, and we returned a hefty £12. So £12 has gone on one fighter tonight. Ash, who have we gone for?
We have gone for. Just gonna scroll down.
You don't even know his name, do you?
We have gone for Jung Da-un.
Yes, Jung Da-un, who's in the co-main event. So be sure to stick around for that.
No, I knew his first name. I just wanted to get his last name correct because boys know what I'm like with my names.
But stick around for that. The co-main event. It's gonna be interesting to see whether we add to the prize fund or not.
Yeah, that is true.
Fortunate.
And we've got the debut of Sanko as well, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
On commentary.
Or was it your?
No, TV is still on. Did you put the charger on your laptop?
Yeah, it's in there. Look at it. Right there with.
Laptop's just gone quiet. Not sure what that's about. We'll run for the cards. Luckily for you, Ash, it's not you this week because the names here are pretty difficult. But I'll get that side screen up and we'll go through it and get the whole tale of what's going to happen. Hold on one sec. Okay, cool. So I'll give my best attempt at this. And of course, it's going to be my first, with a name like this, it's going to be wild. But we've got Yusaku Kinoshita, and he's going to be up against Adam Fugitt. I think it's pronounced Fugitt, but, you know, if you saw that video earlier this week with Sadiq Youssef and the way he was pronounced it, hilarious. I can't help but call him anything other than Fugitt. I feel the same way, Adam, is what you Sadiq said. And then we got Choi Do-ho, and he's going up against Carl Nelson. So they're fighting out of the featherweight division. Carl Nelson is going down a division for that one, so he's fighting out 145. Then you got in the heavyweight division, Marcin Tybura. He's going to be fighting Blagoy Ivanov, and that's going to be quite an interesting one as well. Yeah. Co-main next we have Jung Da-un, and he's going to be fighting Devin
I'm not
Clark.
in this one.
No. And then, of course, you got heavyweight Derrick Lewis fighting Sergey Spivak. And that's going to be the main event, which, of course, what we all are here for later today as well. But that's what we're going to see coming up. Yeah, no, we can hear you, Ash, but, of course, your screen's not in today. So you're going to I'll come back to the main. You're going to be around for, what, just the very beginning of this?
Probably be able to squeeze the first two fights in.
Yeah. What was your who do you reckon your potential fight tonight would be tonight? Looking at the whole card.
Ooh. I actually couldn't tell you. I'll probably Doho Choi versus Carl Nelson actually, because they both like to stand and bang.
Yeah. To be honest, Duho.
But then again, actually, it could be this first fight because they like to stand and bang as well.
That's true. Kinoshita is pretty sick when it comes to standing and banging, but also Duho, he's had like 5 performance of the nights or fight of the nights kind of thing in his last 5 out. Like he's pretty wild, and if he's going to be anything like he was before he had a long layoff, and we've not seen him since 2019.
Yeah.
We did a post about him on the ATF channel as well, but if he's going to be anything like he was back before, I think we're in for an absolute fight of the night for that one as well.
Yeah, 100%.
That's his fight to lose, to be fair. It just really depends what he's going to be like coming. Do you believe in ring rust?
I do, yeah.
You do?
Yeah, you've gone now. There you go, yeah. It's one of the, like, you could be out for that long and then you're coming up against guys that you've probably not seen before, if you get what I mean, that have not been in and around the scene while you've been there, and you get back in there and you're fighting someone that's experienced and could show you different looks and things like that. So yeah, I do 100%, yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, it's a bit here and there, really. To be fair, I think depends on what you've been doing while you've been out. To be honest, as well. If it's just been like injury recovery and all that sort of thing. Yeah, it's the tech issues today. I'm not sure why it's just prominent.
All right, I was gonna get into the first fight. I'll let you sort it out. Yeah. I'll let them sort it out. I'll let Si know in a sec to get the fighters up. I'm going to get into Adam Fugitt then, who's got a pro record of 8 wins with 3 losses, with 4 KOs and 3 submissions, and has 2 first-round finishes, and has a UFC record of 0 wins and 1 loss, and made his UFC debut last year in 2022, and he's also never been submitted either.
Yes, there it is. So a little bit more on this guy in terms of his fighting style. Southpaw fighter, boxing swag to his fighting style as well. He tucks his chin, he rolls his strikes from behind his shoulders, but he's got this really tight guard and he assumes the center octagon as he comes on in as well. He sort of uses a lot of feints to mask his leg kicks and his entries, but he takes, he does actually like to go low, then go high with those leg kicks, especially against those orthodox fighters. I feel like he really does take full advantage of his southpaw edge when he's in those matchups. A lot of people sort of say about how they have an advantage against orthodox fighters, but you never really see southpaw fighters taking full advantage of it, and Adam Fugitt is just someone who generally does. However, he's up against another southpaw fighter tonight, so interesting to see how that's going to play out. He does have the tendency to get to get wild with his striking as well, and as the fight goes on, he sort of gets a little bit loose in that way. He uses a lot of jerky movements to offset his opponents, and he sort of looks to just sort of headhunt, I guess, once he sort of finds his rhythm to go. But certainly, decent enough fighter. It could be the perfect style for Kinoshita, but we shall see.
Yeah, jump on to Kinoshita then, who's got a pro record of 6 wins with 1 loss, with 4 KOs and 2 submissions, and has 5 first-round finishes, and he's making his UFC debut. He was on the Dana White Contender Series last year in 2022. He is currently on a 2-fight win streak and has never been KO'd or submitted.
Yeah.
And I still remember that finish on the Dana White Contender Series, so this fight, as I said before, could be fun tonight as well.
It could be. It literally could be. I'm excited to see what Kinoshita is going to bring us today. Honestly, I think it's a bit of his to go.
I think I heard Dana White correctly earlier in the week saying that this Adam has not seen the judges. He's either been finished or he's finished the fight.
Yeah. Okay. So this guy's never gone the full distance. Interesting. That suggests he does yield quite a bit of power. But looking here, this is also his. He's fought in the UFC before. That's right. Yeah, he was up against.
He lost to that Michael Morales. Yeah. That Michael Morales is a beast.
Yeah.
And he went all 3 rounds with him, and obviously got TKO'd in the 3rd round, but went 3 rounds with a talented striker in Morales. So
I think for a lot of the fights tonight, it's an opportunity for them to get their first win in the UFC. So a lot riding on this one. I mean, a little bit in terms of fighting style of this guy. As I said earlier, he's a southpaw fighter as well. He does a great job controlling the distance, utilizing his long range and closing those and close range weapons as well. And I should probably make it clear I'm talking about Kinoshita, although we are looking, of course, at Adam Fugitt here.
Yeah.
In this last fight, we did see him take the reach advantage away from the guy 4 inches taller than him. So it's just a good statement of how he's able to perfect these fundamentals. It's brilliant. Intelligently enough, he's great at that footwork. He cuts off the cage and he pressures opponents, and he also is like capable of switching stances as he enters into range as well, which takes a whole different level of fighter IQ. And that's just a good testament, of course, to the level which his footwork is at. You know, he covers more distance. He's turning that jab hand into the power hand ultimately when he does so.
Yeah.
But look out for this guy's slip punch counters as well, because they are actually sick. You know, they will not disappoint you. He's built a whole highlights reel off of his ability to slip those strikes and counter right back.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, well said.
Yeah, man. It's going to be pretty nuts. JK's just having some trouble connecting his laptop to the TV. I think this is...
It's just battery. For some reason, it wasn't charging properly.
Do you want me to get expectations for Adam?
Wild. Yeah, what's your expectations on Adam then?
Yeah, so I think he's going to have a high guard, sporting a solid defense. However, I'd be careful of those straight strikes down the middle of his guard. Doesn't stop them. Expect him to come out with his leg kicks before introducing his hands to the fighting later in the round. I liked the way Fugitt was able to make Morales down with the outside trip in his last fight. From what I've seen, if there's one person to attempt a takedown, it would be Adam.
Still playing in the background? Most likely.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it would be.
Get ready with the timer then.
Oh, yeah, ready with that timer. Thanks for that, Ash. Sorry about it. I didn't mean to interrupt you, bro. Timer's on. We're on round 1. And it's rolling. What's the time looking like for you? Because we're having some sort of stream issues here.
Oh, 441, 442.
Oh, nice. Pretty much on point. Yeah, we're 441, 440.
Cool. There we go. We're back.
I don't know why yours was counting up, Ash.
Did we?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why I did that.
Did we get to the chats?
No.
Look at us. 6 a.m. says Damien. Yes, Damien.
Yes,
bro.
welcome
Good
with
to
them.
see you. Welcome in, bro.
Man,
Welcome
is this normally the time you wake
Well, these
up?
two are swinging.
Let us know, or have you literally just got up for this?
Oh, yeah.
card?
So, like you said, Ash, as well, this is Fugitt coming straight out the guard with those kicks. Throwing them.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Damien also says they put it on at this time because of the road to the UFC. It's on in China time, but it's actually an L for us. Yeah, I mean, to be honest,
I don't know.
you could look at it this way, but I don't mind an early riser. Just means don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's easier to wake up at 5
Oh,
than it is to
did
wake
you
up
see
at
the
3.
head kick?
Yeah, that was he landed that one, tagged him hard. That was decent.
Yeah, this fight's gonna be insane, man.
Fugitt using that wrestling here.
Oh, he's taking the back.
Got the back
here.
as well now.
Did you guys mention that Kinoshita is really young? He's like 23 or something.
No, did not mention that.
Yeah, he's
Sick.
crazy young.
The guy's nuts, though. He's so exciting.
Yeah, he's like he's the Japanese Conor McGregor, mate.
Yeah. Do you want to go over the expectations?
I can't remember what I was gonna say
What did
now.
you expect for this guy?
Well, I was expecting him to kind of come out engaging kick for kick with Fugitt. I think that Kinoshita will have the speed advantage over Fugitt. It's a good start from Fugitt, actually, so far.
Yeah, it is.
That alone with his ability to cover distance, I think would cause issues. Kinoshita doesn't shy away from a brawl, and he has a love for it. I see him drawing out Fugitt's wild side and capitalizing on his exposed targets later on. But so far, Fugitt, as we said before,
Yeah, he's controlling him well.
he's
controlling
going to
him
want to
well.
wrestle. And you've seen it early here.
And what you're absolutely right about that with Kinoshita. What he's going to want to do is get that brawl out of Fugitt and just to get him to throw his hands. But yeah, as long as Fugitt can keep positions
He
like
grabbed
this.
the fence then.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did he?
Oh, he warned him. Warned him.
Solid warning.
Did you see Kinoshita's fight in Ryzen, his loss, Ash?
Oh, no, I thought you were going to say he's knockouting Dana White contenders here.
No, he's not in Ryzen, mate. I tell you, know why he lost?
Disqualified, isn't it?
No.
He got disqualified.
Oh, no, yeah, he got disqualified. Yeah,
Grabbing
sorry,
the
yeah.
fence,
Holding the
but
fence, yeah.
He knocked his opponent down, and he was grabbing the fence while stomping on his head.
Oh wow!
Foot stomps are legal in Ryzen, but it's the fact it's
beyond
he was,
me.
Grabbing the fence whilst he was stomping. That's the reason why.
Oh wow!
Disqualified.
Fugitt landing heavy. Yeah.
So technically, this guy is undefeated.
Up until let's see here.
Adam's all over
reading out the right strategy.
And we said the strength here of Fugitt is just going to be too much.
No, so good.
I went for Kinoshita anyways on picks because I was hoping he was going to win.
Same.
Yeah. I do want to see that win from Kinoshita, but because he's such an exciting fighter as well.
Damien says, I'm used to waking up at this time. I usually start work at 7. Ooh, no work today, though. A 22-year-old Japanese fighter is the equivalent of to a 35-year-old American fighter. Maybe.
This fight was actually supposed to be in Korea as well.
Yeah, it was.
This entire card. So the fact, I mean, that's another reason, of course, why it's on at the time it's on. But when did they change that? When did I get?
Well, I mean, you'd say that, which I guess is a reason for it to be.
Defending well here. He keeps trying to scramble.
But
yeah, it's decent enough.
But it also works out because Bellator was on as well.
Yeah, I think Bellator.
I think they knew. Well, they knew the. Well, I guess it wouldn't really matter.
Oh, maybe not.
30 seconds.
Oh, wow. Heavy
elbows. Big elbows.
Yeah, this is going to get stopped.
Oh, big elbows.
Adam
this could be it.
Fugitt gets the TKO victory
Wow.
round 1. Man,
Sugar.
nasty stuff from Adam Fugitt. He bounces back to the win.
Could Sadiq's picks be right?
Sadiq's picks could be right. I don't know, actually. I haven't checked the rest of them.
Whoa.
But,
Whoa.
man.
Yeah, job well done from Fugitt. He just brought more tools to this fight. And look,
100%.
You can see with someone
the
like
grappling
Kinoshita,
advantage in this.
Yeah, and Kinoshita, like he's great in his hands. He's great when things are going his way. But this is just a lesson for him to learn.
100%. Yeah.
And I wouldn't really mind.
Straight left.
Yeah, see him learning from this and just coming back a bit stronger.
Yeah, great stoppage.
He didn't quite get into his groove though, because I didn't really see him slipping punches.
Bigger than him.
Yeah,
like he's a big dude. Is Adam Fugitt?
He is. Yeah, I was telling Si when you were sorting that laptop that this Adam guy's not gone the distance. He's either been knocked out or he's obviously won the fight by knockout. What's up?
Oh wow, yeah. High odds for a finish in that fight.
He's got the local lingo on the chest as well.
Yeah, let us know if you picked a finish in this. I have got 2 wrong now. Oh no, did I get?
Yeah, I got 1 wrong now.
Oh, go on.
I can't remember the last one now. I think things are slipping so far. Damien says, I'm 99% sure it's because of the road to the UFC. That's China thing. It was going to be in South Korea, actually. I think. Because they were looking at putting the Korean Zombie on the card, but then, I don't know, he couldn't.
Yeah, that would have pumped up a lot, yeah.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
It's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh. Sort that. I just want to press the mute button on the thing.
Oh yeah. My initial reaction. There we go.
Come on, let's hear you in the chat. Let's hear you.
Let's don't forget to pop a like on the video, of course, guys, as well. Let's get this going, shall we?
I was just about to say no rankings for that fight, but
yeah, we only got rankings.
Was that
so third fight on?
Was that welterweight?
Yeah, it was at welterweight.
Welterweight. Okay.
No. And then we're up next in the featherweight division.
Oh, did you see the fight that just got announced as well?
It wasn't
Brian Barberena versus Nico Price.
Where was I? I completely wasn't even looking at it.
Makes sense. I know Ian Gary was trying to campaign to fight Barberena.
Barbara.
Yeah.
But I think maybe perhaps the timing was a bit out on that one for why that didn't get made. But I think Ian Gary still wants to get that fight after.
Yeah, I think if Nico Price loses, that could be it.
Yeah, say it was a horrible fight.
Don't take that. None of want to see
for
Nico Price go anywhere.
Last one.
He's a good journeyman though.
So this guy looks like Paul Felder, but without a moustache.
Yeah, he's like a young Paul Felder.
Cool.
He is literally a young Paul Felder.
Maybe Paul Felder's
like
younger
Paul Felder
cousin.
if he was in his early 20s.
I don't know.
And yet this guy is probably late 20s. Don't know. I can't remember. I didn't see the stats and everything that came up. Damien says Conor and Chandler tough. The fight's at 170 apparently. They are hoping Conor wins so he gets a title shot for UFC 300. The timing adds up. I don't know. You reckon so?
What are we on now?
Does it add up?
286.
No, 284 next week. Yeah, we got some time. He's probably that fight's probably going to be in September. Conor needs to jump in the testing pool like this month.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's all lined up perfectly for him to do tough.
It is, yeah.
Because he's not in the testing pool. And
But this is the thing. What weight class? Why he's decided to go welterweight is beyond me.
Because he's big as fuck. You know, Joe
but
Rogan
it's
said
a worse weight cut. It's a worse, harder division.
If he
I
pisses in
say
a cup,
that, it's
it
not.
melts.
But
He's a big dude now.
Harder than lightweight. You think welterweight's harder than lightweight?
Yeah. That's why I just retracted what I said.
Yeah, let's go. You sure? Lightweight's on fire at the moment.
Oh, yeah, I think that that lands in Conor's favour a little bit. You know,
It depends. To be fair, it depends who's champ. If Leon's champ, yeah,
Chandler's going to look really small at welterweight.
Jones's brother.
I think.
yeah. All right. I take it all back.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, come on.
That fight favors Conor, but can you see Conor beating Usman? Could you see Conor beating Chimaev?
Oh, no,
Could you beat Conor?
I mean,
He's not going to. He won't get that far.
let's do the same thing with the lightweight division.
Yeah.
You know, chuck it
Skip
back to lightweight division. And I think what's going to be easier for him, but you just have to plug him in, pal.
What is going on,
I
boys?
don't know. It's Jordan said he put these on charge, Philly.
It's not good enough. Damo, tell him it's not good enough.
Oh, flick it.
Tell him it's not good enough.
Yeah, no, it's not. All right. So it's. I can't remember what I was saying now. Something to do with Conor McGregor. Yeah, I mean, I think that way back to his natural weight class anyway is probably the best way to do it. Come in at welterweight, get a few wins, and then go down to lightweight.
He's not going to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, well, if he takes the belt, then I don't think
He's too big of a boy. It wouldn't
be silly
He's
for him to
he's
then-
not climbing for belts anymore. Let's be real. Like
So
I
what's
still
he
think
What's he
he's
coming back for?
determined.
Money?
He's still.
What's he coming back
determined.
for?
He's coming for competition.
He's got all the money he needs.
Yeah,
he doesn't
exactly.
need to come back to fight for
no,
money.
he loves fighting. That's why he's coming back.
Either you come for you fight for money, or you fight for position.
No, he's coming back because he loves the fight. I think he's probably determined to make a run at the belt, but he's not going to get there. Like realistically, the way that the UFC are probably looking at this is a couple of money fights. So if he's at welterweight, it's probably better chance for money fights because you've got Masvidal in there, right? That's a big fight.
Yeah.
So
RDA probably.
maybe the RDA fight.
Colby,
I don't
Covington.
think that work makes sense. Colby, Conor, you can't tell me you're not going to want to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even though on paper Colby should dismantle Conor, but the build up to that,
I don't know,
is
mate.
fire.
It sounds to me like these fights we're talking about here are pretty strong, prominent positions for belt run. So you
No,
can't
they're
say
No,
that
they're
he's not going to fight for.
they're not.
I mean,
Where's Masvidal in the rankings?
no, I mean you could fight Masvidal and then you could be fighting for like fight. If you beat Masvidal, then they could. He's not in the rankings, but then you could be like a
So you're
contender for the
gonna
belt,
climb
especially
top
for
five.
Conor
You think
McGregor.
Conor's going to
mate.
get top 5?
I mentioned you just mentioned Colby. He's number 1. Yeah. That's that. What you beat? You just said,
Yeah, of course,
who's
but
not going to want to see the Colby fight?
is he gonna-
you
is
would
he
want to
gonna-
see
is he
it.
gonna
And
get
then
that
what
far?
happens next is you're going for the belt. I
But
mean,
is he
it
going to beat
sounds to me-
Colby? So you're telling me Conor's going to beat Colby then?
No,
then.
I said to you, like, it sounds to me like coming back into this division, you know, if he's not doing it for money, let's be honest, it makes no sense. So then he's got to be doing it for position. And then the opportunities here.
But he's not.
You said he's not going to have another run in the belt. I mean, he's pretty much up there after
Yeah,
he's
and
not
I'm telling you,
not gonna fight.
he's not going to happen. He's not going to get there.
Oh, yeah, but that's why he's coming
That's
back,
the
though.
matter. That's where I'm going here. He's not getting there.
The point of him coming back is where we're going with this. And it's,
Oh yeah,
you know,
of course. No,
Yeah,
I've said that.
the
I've always
only
said
kind of
that he
winnable
wants
fight.
to
Huh?
he's still competitive, But really,
Yeah,
The
he's
only
gonna go for
winnable
gold,
fight
bro.
I can see is the Masvidal fight. That's the only fight I can see him winning.
Yeah, well, I've got to see him back at this weight class, to be fair, before I can say. You know, he might look amazing, and then I'll be confident enough to say, yeah, Colby, he'll smash. But, you know, we'll see.
Also,
We'll see.
the one thing we're not adding is he was knocking people dead at featherweight, right?
Yeah.
He went up to lightweight. Okay, yes, he TKO'd Eddie Alvarez, got the win there. But after that, is he knocking
but
people
this
out
is the
at
thing as well,
lightweight? Is
because-
he knocking people out at lightweight? Like, I remember when we was on a fan cam to Dustin, and he says his power doesn't transcend at lightweight, and we were seeing that against Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
You know, who's
yeah.
also a featherweight
And this
as well,
is the
and I don't.
this
think
is the
he's
thing
gonna
as well,
work
like-
welterweight.
like you said, he was knocking people dead at featherweight. Like, where am I going with this? I can't remember what I was going to say now.
I think Tony
Sorry.
Ferguson
You said
is
about
also
Eddie
another
Alvarez.
one.
Like, if Eddie Alvarez come in with the proper game plan, I see him beating Conor because obviously the wrestling advantage. The same way I see the advantage with Chandler.
But
Chandler could roll dog Conor.
But Chandler's not going to do that.
he
though.
won't.
At this weight class?
He's not.
He's not going to do
At
that because he's
welterweight?
going to stand and bang with
Yeah,
Conor.
he's going to stand and bang because he wants entertainment. And,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think that's going to be like so intriguing.
It's a great
to
fight for
see
Conor.
how that happens. But yeah, I think Chandler's style matches up really well against Conor. Conor's beaten the likes of Chad Mendes, a similar style to Chandler, which I put in the Discord earlier. He's beaten obviously Eddie Alvarez as well, same similar style to Chandler, almost a copycat of Chandler, really. The two styles. However, the one thing that differentiates Chandler with the two of them is the recklessness. Because Eddie Alvarez, like, you know, he didn't come in reckless against Conor. He doesn't normally come in too reckless. Chandler comes in to entertain.
He does.
So, and you know, that could be a factor in itself that could to play heavily in that fight. You know, it could work in Chandler's favour against Conor McGregor, who's been out for a long time.
Yeah, starts off quick. Don't let Conor get his foot in that door, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But having said that, if Conor is able to survive and Chandler gets tired, then you can see Conor hitting him with that left hand. Similar to
Well, I
the
don't know,
way he
because
put
Conor might get tired as well. He's a bigger boy now as well.
Yeah, it's true.
An even bigger boy.
Good point.
Yeah.
There's a lot of factors that play into this. Damien says McGregor is always one win away from a title shot. He can win a middleweight fight and get a lightweight title shot.
Is this what I'm saying? Beats Masvidal and he can get a title shot. Like, he just got to get a couple of fights in the division.
I still, technically from a fan's point of view, it shouldn't really warrant, but the UFC could sway that way, obviously, because of money. But
when you got like a golden ticket like that, you go for gold. Because you can.
Well, Chandler versus McGregor will be around UFC 289, UFC 290, maybe one more fight, but they definitely want him 300. Yeah, I mean, surely they're starting to plan for that now.
Could you imagine? I think that's got to be. It's got to be on UFC 300. It's got to be Masvidal Conor on that card. Just because. Well, but that's the thing though. Has Masvidal still got that stardom? Has he still got that?
I think he has, but I mean,
That's the
I'm
thing.
not really that too bothered. Really,
I'm not bothered about Masvidal as much as I was.
no.
When he starts Till, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, when he went on that
And
run,
obviously when he
that
did
insane run.
Ben Askren knockout.
Yeah. But, I mean, seeing perform.
You get Paddy on UFC 300 as well.
With Masvidal, you're really only looking at those nuggets of opportunity, aren't you? Not looking at like a full package of skill sets put together to get the job done.
Yeah.
You're looking for opportunities in a fight. And he finds them and he gets them and he gets the win. And it's just like that opportunity was like 6 times out of 10 going to come up. You know, so he gets really, you could say lucky, but, fortunate.
Damien says 287 is Izzy. I reckon Conor in October time. That's 290, I think, or 291. Okay, so Damien's plotting it out already.
I think if we cross our fingers and wish really tight, guys, we might actually see him for UFC 400. Let's be real.
Doubt that. I won't
keep
be
us teasing
shocked
for long enough.
if both McGregor and Jorge win. They will do a BMF belt fight. I can see that happening. Yeah, I mean,
That's true.
when you look at Masvidal, you look at the big fights for him. I don't think he beats Burns, but then when he loses to Burns, what's left for him? I mean, he kind of is in this category where he's entertaining as hell, and you wouldn't mind seeing him against whoever, really. There's like and it's the same with Connor. Connor gets put in that bracket as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many losses.
We should get into these fights, guys. Next one's up. They're doing a bit of a promo on it.
Yeah,
and
I
I got to tell you,
we'll get into it a bit early doors.
This is doing it for me.
They're not walking out just yet, but they're going to.
Yeah, I still remember that was in my top 5 fights of the year.
Oh my goodness!
One of my best fights, Duho Choi versus Cub Swanson. What a fight that was!
Good pick.
And it was only 3 rounds. Could you imagine if it was 5? Right,
man.
Let's jump into Carl Nelson.
It did get in the Hall of Fame for Fight of the Year.
Yep.
It did, yeah.
All right,
it did. Jump into Carl Nelson, then has got a pro record of 13 wins with 5 losses, with 5 KOs and 4 submissions, and 8 first-round finishes, and has a UFC record of 1 win and 4 losses, and has a UFC record. He made his UFC debut in 2018, and he has lost his last 2 fights as well.
I wish he finished that. Yeah,
this is kind of make or break for Carl Nelson here.
It really is, because he started off quite well in both of those fights, but then slowed down in the second round and just kind of threw it all away in both of those fights. So it's going to be interesting to see what he comes out with this time out.
Both these guys are falling on some hard times as of late. I mean,
yes,
you got Duho, who I haven't seen for a minute now, and he's coming off of 3 losses.
Yeah,
but and then of course you got this guy who's won in his last. I don't know. I have to check it. 5 fights, if I remember correctly. Maybe it was 6.
He doesn't look. He still looks as young as he did when he burst on the scene as well.
5.
He's like 30 odd now.
Oh yeah, Choi looks like he's
31. He still looks 12.
Bro, he looks like he's on those K-pop bands. Like those.
Well, that's racist.
Well, no, not at all. Not at all.
You can't associate all Korean people as K-pop artists.
Korean pop, yeah. Especially when you look like the Justin Bieber of your particular. That's probably a bit more offensive. But if you see like any American kid with a size,
with a gun in their hands, that's racist.
What's he call a little thing?
Associate all Americans with guns.
You call him Justin Bieber. No, it's just
a good start. This is
generally he's got a hairstyle. He's got that look. He's got to get.
No, I see what you mean.
Cut him out. Put sign the mute button.
Do you know what K-pop is, Ash? Do you even know what K-pop is? But that's it. He does it like he's in a boy band.
You called him a soy boy. Why are you calling him a soy boy for? That's racist.
Okay, I didn't say that. That would be. I did not say that. Okay. All right, let's get into fighting style. Orthodox switch fighter. He does like to switch those stances. He will happily swap stances to throw kicks to the body from the southpaw stance. He likes to utilize the wrestling once he presses opponents up against the cage. But sometimes he'll actually lunge forwards with that attack as well, out of desperation when his opponents moves backwards.
Yeah, he's trying to reach too much.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say out of Despacito.
Okay. Blimey, that's well out. They didn't even sound like that.
Yeah. I mean,
that's but yeah, no, again, imagine
wild things happen in the morning, guys.
Yeah, apparently so. We all got to wake up a bit. Look, he does.
Right, racist.
He does possess some power in his hands. We saw that against Polo Reyes, of course, as well. But when he exploded on him against the cage, that was pretty devastating. But yeah, this guy ultimately he's still trying to get his first win in the UFC. Actually, I think not necessarily his first win. He has got a win in the UFC, hasn't he? Yeah, no, he's got a win in the UFC already. But
he's just the only.
Yeah, if you listen to the history points, mate, you would know that.
One in his last 5, right?
Don't worry, everyone. It's that time in the morning. It's nice and early in the morning, everyone. Don't worry, like side to side. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
1 win in his last 5. There you go.
There it is. Yeah. There it is. Yes, he's got 1 win. But the guy's not in the UFC anymore, so he's not fighting anyone who's still in the UFC, is he?
Yeah. Okay. No.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to say this guy is fighting now.
Oh yeah, because he's not in the UFC at all.
Right.
Never mind the history points.
Well, it's like you'd say probably.
Duho Choi, Ash.
Let's talk.
Yes, to jump into Duho Choi, then has got a pro record of 14 wins with 4 losses, with 11 KOs and 1 submission, and has 9 first-round finishes. And it has a UFC record of 3 wins and 3 losses. And he made his UFC debut all the way back in 2014. He's never been submitted, and I said has lost his last 3 fights, and we haven't seen him in 2 years.
Yeah, that's wild, man. Been a long time.
I imagine he has to do Korean service.
Yeah, I think that's what
military.
Yeah.
Clearly not as a big a star as Dong Min Song, because if I said that, I've bollocks that name up, haven't I?
Is he up here?
Songy boy from
Spurs.
From Spurs, yeah.
Oh, Song. Yeah. We just go with Song.
He's done duty, I think.
He has, yeah.
But Duho Choi is an orthodox fighter. He's got insanely fast hands, and he loves to throw the right uppercut up the middle. Comfortably fighting in the pocket because he's got a strong chin. We saw that in the Cub Swanson fight, obviously, that got Fight of the Year at that time. He's got laser pinpoint accuracy. He's very calculated when picking his shots, especially when setting up his power right hand. He cuts off the cage well, applying constant pressure. Never in a boring fight. He's either knocking his opponents down or getting knocked down. Bosh.
Yeah, one of the two.
Yeah.
Let's see even the chats. Come on, who got in this fight? Let's see even the chat.
Yeah, let us know who you got. We're going to get expectations in just a sec. I'll read this out by Damien. Damien says, to be honest, if they both lose, it can still happen. There is no excuse not to make Jorge. Yeah, for sure. That's what I was alluding to earlier. That's the only belt they can fight for, and McGregor is definitely eligible for it.
Well, that's it. I think that's the only thing. Like JK said, I don't think Conor's going to get there.
Yeah.
And like you said there, mate, 100% the only belt he could probably potentially get is the BMF belt. And like you said, that fight, even if Conor loses to Chandler, it's still on the cards, to be honest.
And Damien says, all right, Si, it might be Black History Month in the US, but you still can't be you still can be racist. Okay, that's what he's talking about. Cage My Q, what's up, guy? Yes, what's up, Cage My Q? Good to see you. Let us know who you're cheering for in this fight. Expectations for Carl Nelson, go.
All right, cool. Now, I'm hoping Nelson could be coming out this fight. Better conditioning. He did fade in the second round.
Si's mic's gone out. I don't know if that's just through Zoom.
Bounce, I think. Check yours. I think it's coming through yours.
Let him know. I'm just through Zoom. It's not coming through as loud.
That's wild. Okay, that should be back now. Should be back.
There you go. It's normal now.
Okay, cool. It did look weird. Yeah, so cheers for that. But he did fade in the second round against Jai Herbert, and he actually allowed Herbert to get back into the fight, actually. So the same thing happened against Billy Q as well. The guy's just not really had that tank for the second latter half of things. Let me get his timer in and ready for it. We're going to be going into round one.
Nice.
But yeah, I do think he will want to sort of use his size to his advantage. His cardio could be an issue, but he should be able to outmuscle Choi, is what I'm thinking. And I would.
Similar to what we saw in the first fight.
Yeah, maybe in the clinch.
Oh, that was a heavy kick early, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, great off the bat from Choi. But yeah, he's got to make this a gritty fight for Choi. Be effective when striking at range and rougher him up in the clinch exchanges as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's coming down to this weight class as well. So this is a featherweight fight, but he usually is.
Yes.
That
is true.
Yeah, he spent most of his career at featherweight, but I think he went up last time, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah, as for Duho Choi then, we've not seen him in a long time, so it's hard to get a read on what we could expect from this version of Choi. But even if he's not changed too much, we are in for a treat. 3 fight of the nights and, of course, 2 performance of the nights in his last 5 outings should give you a rough idea.
Yeah, good point.
I think he needs to keep the pressure on Nelson and control the pace of the fight. His speed should cause him problems, especially when he's fatigued and can't react quick enough to those punches. So early onslaught from Nelson at the moment with the wrestling. This is what we it
is, and I think this is what he needs to do to Choi.
But can he keep it up for 3 rounds is the ultimate question.
Yeah.
That's all the only adjustment he needs to make. And, this could be a good win for him if he does follow through. But, he's got to do damage at the same time, of course.
Choi's doing very good stuff in that head. That's exactly what he needs to be doing.
He is. I think it's just he's blooming holding on to the legs for dear life here.
Yeah. Cage My IQ says only 1:30 a.m. here. I mean, mate, do you feel it now? Do you feel how much of a struggle the late night fights are? It's interesting to get you guys in the US your takes on these start times. He's got Nelson if he can withstand the early barrage, and it's a good point there. Of course.
I'm getting some sambo wrestling style techniques coming from him looking at this. Like the way he's been, although one thing he would have done, which I didn't see yet, is taking away the base. That's one thing he should have done before coming up to this position, I think. But ultimately, the way he was like controlling those legs and just keeping nobody between himself and Choi, mate.
He's doing a good job.
He was doing very well.
He's wrapped it up.
Yeah.
He's wrapped that up.
Duho Choi is.
Yo, I thought it was gonna have a submission.
Oh wow!
Look, wow! He's
my heart.
Position, but
My heart is with Choi on this. I really want him to win this fight. Oh, this is good.
Wow.
He's ended up on top.
Crucifix position for Choi.
Go.
Holy shit. How's he ended up in a crucifix?
How did Nelson fall into that?
I think Choi's going to lay on him here and let
He's not thrown any hands
Nelson
yet, though.
work.
Don't let him use that. Nelson's going to want to try to get to that cage if he can.
Good.
Oh.
Pressure so far from Choi.
Choi's done well to hold him, but I know for Choi, all he's thinking is he doesn't want to lose his position. He really doesn't. He's been gifted this.
Yeah, I think it just soften him up, like Jake said. Make
he could lose position. He could lose position if he starts throwing his hands. So he's got to time. He's got to
be patient with it.
Oof.
Try and get his hands. There we go.
Who did you put in this one, boys?
I'll put Choi.
Yeah,
I was hoping.
I put Choi as well.
I just really want it. Yeah,
and it was just purely based on. I mean, Kyle Nelson didn't really.
He's not in the Hall of Fame,
a
is he?
fan of his in his last 2 fights, to be honest, at all. And I had to go for Choi for that reason. You know. Damien says.
Also, from a point of entertainment. Sorry, go
on. I mean, it's always a mixture.
Mr. Days, what? Sorry.
Mr. Days when people would strike. He says.
What, like last week? There's so many last week.
Last week?
Strikes.
Was you watching? Train strikes. Yeah, there's a lot of train strikes last week.
Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm on about.
Damien says, I knew I should like a casual, but I'm getting sick of fights that always wrestle. 8 out of 10 fights nowadays are wrestling fest. I want to see some slick striking.
Like I know what he's referencing in that moment. You're thinking of Choi Swanson fight that happened in 2006. Was it? Well, I don't know. I looked earlier. It was back in there. 2016. Yeah. So that fight was stand and bang. That's everything you hope for as a UFC fan watching the bouts. To be honest, in terms of the way that went, all standing up, all fists, and just people getting rocked both sides. It was the reason why it's obviously in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, fundamentally,
who did you give this round to, by the way?
It's very difficult to tell.
It's a good point. It's hard to say.
Do you know what?
Nelson, damage-wise.
I don't know. Nelson did look like he was close with that head and arm choke. Not head and arm choke, that rear naked choke. So you could give it for Nelson for that.
True.
Which I guess does outweigh it, to be fair. The reversal was impressive by Choi, and he did get him in the crucifix. So, I think effective grappling would sway towards Nelson in that. Just purely because of the submission attempt.
Yeah.
But very close, of course, nonetheless. And Cage My IQ says, Nelson is the heavier guy. Choi hasn't fought in 3 years. That was my factor for me. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's seeing the bigger guy, of course. That was a big factor, especially when you look at the first fight of the night, with Adam Fugitt. He was much bigger than Kinoshita. So I can see where you were looking at here. For sure. Tough fight though to call for sure. One of the tougher ones of the night.
What happens to the loser here though? Let's think about that for a second.
Round 2. The UFC Cup Choi. I mean, he fought some studs though. He
has.
Swanson, Jeremy Stevens. People would like to bang.
I hope he gets given the mileage still.
What was his last one before that? It was
Timer in.
TKO'd by someone I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But, sorry.
It's there. Yeah, it's gone.
Cool, it's there. Damien says, why can we see these ground guys do a Colby versus Usman 1? They just let hands fly, 0 takedown attempts. I mean, that's kind of like a mutual agreement kind of thing, isn't it? But Choi's the one who's going to be striking, here. It was Nelson who initiated grappling. And, it's rightly so in a way because Choi is quite fast. Oh! Leading!
Whoa!
Right hook from Nelson.
A fly knee.
Wobbles Choi.
Man.
Cage IQ
that right
might
hand
be
come out of nowhere.
Here, but he gave Choi round 1. So interesting, Cage IQ.
Yeah. I think
wow. But that was an onslaught from Choi. Survived it now.
That's a potential round winner from Nelson right there. I think Choi needs to rock Nelson back here and put him in
but this is the thing. I think Nelson could have... I know it was only a little onslaught, but... got a little excited.
Starting to see Nelson fade a bit.
I think after Cub Swanson, you can say Choi's got a chin, but he then did proceed to get knocked out twice after that. So can you have that argument?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, of course, the chin wear and tear.
These leg kicks are going to pay dividends, man. They're solid.
That Cub Swanson fight did wear on it.
Yeah, well, that's a good kick.
Yeah, that was it. Charles Jourdain was his last loss, and I think he had some success against Jourdain in that fight.
Like desperate takedown attempt a minute ago from
desperate from Nelson.
Now, desperate.
Oof, Choi now.
Well, that was cheeky gobbling ankle there. That was nice.
Oh, yeah, Choi
very
back
clever.
up
That was nice.
Sent that whole position off of it.
Yeah, Nelson's done. He's tired.
Damien says, what's your opinion on Islam saying UFC 284 has bad promotion? Mate, I'm all for him. I generally think it has had. I think...
Which one? The next pay-per-view?
Yeah, the next pay-per-view. I think Slap League has taken over. Why?
Yeah.
Like, Slap League's getting way more promotion. I generally think Slap League is to blame for it. You know? It's not getting talked about enough. It's champion versus champion, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good point from him.
Disgrace. See, these leg kicks, mate, are going to pay dividends, man.
I wouldn't even say it's Slap League alone, though. I mean, you had, in that moment, you've also had John Jones' announcement.
Yeah,
you got the tough announcement when McGregor coming back. I mean, it's just like when you got like an album dropping, you want to check to find out when other artists aren't. I mean, I know you're coming to do it in the UFC, but artists.
They did that. They did that because of the whole Jake Paul PFL thing. They had to drop some big news.
Oh, yeah.
And did you see like Dana started doing announcements now as well?
Yeah. Well, I'm talking
because he came out and announced the Conor channel, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think they announced it because Conor came out and announced it himself. So I think they need it. And when Tony piped up, a lot of people thinking that Tony was coaching, the UFC clearly had in mind that it was going to be Conor versus Chandler, and they needed to make an announcement. You know?
Yeah, do something officially.
So yeah, and they have kind of piled it on and made sure. You know,
Choi cracked him.
The people are talking about the UFC more than everyone else. You got to think this weekend as well. We've got Fedor's retirement fight. That's a bit of a talking point as well. Yeah,
the genuine thing is, it's a real thing when people say that someone stole your thunder, and that's what I was saying with music artists in the industry. Like they'll try not to release an album when someone else's album's about to drop as well. They'll maybe hold it for a year or something. So it's time because otherwise you're sharing that hype and you want it for yourself. But yeah, UFC fighters, they can't decide that. They can't pick that. So when the UFC puts so many bangers next to each other, you know, you got to share the hype with the rest of the promotion. What's going on?
So I mean, these leg kicks, man, 13 leg kicks, they're going to pay dividends, man.
Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah, I mean, this is where if the fight changes or
if it gets to the third round, Choi's going to take over.
Yeah, he should win the third round.
If it changes hands, here we go. So round 2 is going to be in about 15 seconds. It's going to be the big question.
Damo says, touch gloves and see who's got the bigger dick. I think Dana is past it. I want him to move on. He says, I see Damo's comments about that quite recently. He reckons Dana should to leave the organisation. You know, I think few people have reckoned that Chael Sonnen should take over.
Yo,
what's that? Dana should leave.
I mean, is Chael Sonnen taking over the UFC to think about that? Actually,
I mean, he's quite an intelligent dude. You know,
bruh. Now, do you know what? I will not read the comments clearly, but now that's touched my mind. I mean,
he's a good
Dana White's been daddy. Dana White's just been daddy for the longest time.
Chael has always been a good.
These leg kicks, man.
Cage Mayaku says Slap League, the rematch between Izzy and Alex, the 3 main card fights for UFC Australia being scrapped and marketed. There's a lot of factors.
It's not a silly thing to say. I'd actually love to see that. I'd love to see that.
They announced UFC 287 the same way. Dana was making dumb decisions. The Prime deal annoyed me. Oh, and there's that too.
Yeah.
So weird, isn't it?
Deal with Prime?
Yeah. I can see why they're doing it though.
Yeah.
You know, are they doing it
to
reach out to a younger audience?
That's swapped Monster now. Or Monster's still there?
Yeah.
I think so.
What
I said is it was the lead.
They've still got the monster on the canvas.
Maybe it doesn't take effect just yet then.
I don't see the Prime logo. Do you see the Prime logo on it?
No,
Imagine
I've
that.
not seen the Prime logo yet.
No,
I don't think it takes effect. It might take effect.
Get rid of that timer.
Got you.
Oh yeah, that's a now main event. Santos versus Blanchfield.
Yeah, look at that. Blanchfield versus Santos. Great fight.
Oh, I don't know if Blanchfield can last 5 rounds.
Oh,
Ooh.
he shovels.
Choi. The big takedown from Carl Nelson.
Oh, so unlucky.
He's still got some in
well.
the gas tank, has Nelson.
He hurt him as well.
Oh, bro. Third round.
So
Choi
they are
going to
force fighters to promote 2 influencers, drinks. Bear in mind, Logan disrespects MMA fighters all the time, and the fighters get no money for it. I mean, look.
It's mad that because
Jake Paul did come out and say something about that, saying it's not really his drink, and of course, because it's Jake Paul who's giving the noise about fight play and things like that. But, you know,
I was going to say Jake Paul is for fighters, and he's all for fighter pay, so he's done massive things to support.
But then if your brother's putting out a drink, you've got to at least see fighters getting compensated for. But then at the same time, they're not wearing it when they're in the octagon. This is
Nelson doing well here.
Different businesses.
He's working hard for this takedown.
He's trying to get that base. That's very sound. But that's.
Damien says Prime starts UFC 284. Okay. I saw the Prime deal happening when it got big over in England with the Premier League. Says Cage Michael. Yeah, of course, because they signed a deal with Arsenal.
Oh Christ! They're with Arsenal now. Is Arsenal and UFC? Wow.
Yeah.
What Prime is? Well, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prime signed with the
Arsenal club
first.
Yeah, no.
Because KSI's favourite club, isn't it? Carl Nelson.
Choi is doing really well here, defending this takedown.
Yeah, he managed to get back to his feet quite effectively, but
Nelson's working hard for it himself, though.
He is.
Right.
Can he rip those? Can Choi rip the hands away? No.
No, he can't. Whoa!
Oh, he's going for a dump.
Yeah.
Oh,
here we are. Get those legs back, but underneath you. Oh. It's annoying.
Nelson's just laying here. He's not doing anything. He's just resting.
Choi needs to add some solid strikes.
Ref!
He's stalling here.
Yeah, he is. He's trying to get his head back. Come on, ref.
Yeah, Carl Nelson trying to taking breaks here.
He is.
You know? Wow.
Man.
Go on, do Choi.
Yeah.
Come on, have a word.
It hangs in that first round at the moment because obviously this is Nelson's round all day.
Yeah.
Second
at the moment.
Choi. You give second one to Choi?
Yeah, second Choi. It all depends on that first round. If this goes the distance, that is, unless Choi can
stand up and actually make a statement.
But then didn't
2 minutes.
Nelson wobble Choi early on in the second?
Was that the second? Or
but it was all Choi.
Yeah, it was early in the
It
second.
was probably the most significant strike of the round, though.
Yeah,
so that's going to be intriguing.
Oh, it could go Choi. It could go Nelson. You're right.
All 3 rounds, Nelson.
Although there's that. Oh yeah, true. Just trying to think. That fight earlier on with Lee and Yi. Lee won it, and Yi was far more effective grappler. But although Lee did have some significant strikes in that.
So now we've got Choi wound up on top.
He's just
minute
not active
and
enough
35 to go. What's happened there? A headbutt. Oh,
what?
For goodness sake.
What is this?
Well, you got to put him back in that position.
Yeah, he has to. He has to.
Oh, bro. Mate, Kyle Nelson just wants a break. I didn't see it though. Oh.
That's elbows.
No, it was a headbutt.
No, yeah, but look at the intention there was his elbows to dig his elbows in.
He was trying to free his elbow, yeah. That's what
he was trying to
he was
elbow
trying to
him.
free his elbow in. No, Choi's elbow was tight.
Yeah. And so what he was trying to do
trying to free his arm.
dig the elbow into his abdomen, and then that's where the headbutt sort of looked like, but it wasn't actually.
He was trying to
See that elbow? So he's trying to land the elbow, and it looked like a headbutt.
You can't elbow the sternum.
No, that's definitely an elbow blow. He hasn't taken a
What's
point.
happened? Was it a headbutt?
No, he's trying to throw an elbow, but his head. No.
Yeah, for a headbutt. I mean, it looks intentional on the.
But he was clearly throwing an elbow. Nah.
I think he was trying to.
You saw it, right, Ash?
I didn't see it. I was getting Brad.
Nah.
He was trying to free the arms.
Choi, come on, man. Don't worry, bro. Just knock him out. No, because it was given at a point of blow, right?
But you can't elbow the sternum. You're not allowed to elbow the sternum.
Well, that's what he was trying. His elbow in the body.
It's not
Can you imagine Choi just
not even effective if you can throw
an elbow to the body.
Well, it's not like that. that close range. There's no elevation. You can't.
I mean, that's why he jerked back and did that.
He's trying to free the arms.
We watched
so
it like 4 times. Yeah. I mean, but that was a blow.
Straight to the takedown again, Nelson.
He jerked
Unbelievable.
back, but when you go forwards, you're not trying to free yourself by going forwards. You're trying to land a blow. So by jerking back and forwards,
because he was stacked.
He was trying
to. He was stacked over Nelson. So
you think he tried to headbutt him?
No. Your only position is to pull your arms backwards.
Yeah.
In that position.
But the reason
then lent his head going forward.
No.
I'm
gonna watch a replay. I missed it, man.
He went forward with his elbows, so it wasn't one or the other. So it was back, yes, but then it was that forward motion, which he called and said, "No, you tried headbutting him," but he didn't try headbutt him. It was a blow. He was throwing his elbows.
No, he wasn't throwing the elbows.
It was a forward motion. He got penalised for. Because
these shots.
Because you can't in that position. You can't like throw your head forward and pull your head.
Yeah, you can. Because Nelson is grabbing hold of his arm.
Oh, these body shots, man.
You're trying to push forward. As you're doing that motion, look, your head goes that way.
Yeah. It's not enough unless you can TKO.
Body shots now from Choi. I mean, he's got to make or break, but...
Yeah.
Because Nelson's won this fight, and I think he's...
Here it is.
Well, depends on that first round, I think.
Just surviving.
I don't know. I think Nelson might have taken that first round.
Yeah, Nelson the first round. Choi
potentially
the second, and that third one, yeah.
No, I think Nelson takes all 3.
I hope the judges still give it a Choi, because we did see...
No, I can't see it.
It could happen, and if they're feeling particularly corrupt today.
Damien says, Dana gives me many reasons to agree with Jake. They will wear it. They will put it on the shorts and have stalls, and it will be new red and blue corners. They get an option to promote Monster, not PR. Prime.
What's the name of the corner going to be? The Prime Refreshment?
Yeah, it was like the Prime Refreshment Zone. Sounds like something from you'd expect a laser tag.
Let me know. Is Size mic gone off again, or is it just through Zoom?
It is my mic. Yeah, you're right. I should be back. I'm looking at levels.
There you
It
go.
bounces particularly less or something.
Bottom there.
But I was just saying earlier to Jake in a week, like, why not call it Prime Point, like prep point? That just rolls off. It makes far more sense.
Maybe they might go for that. Who knows? Cage Q says Dana will keep doing what he does until star fighters do what boxers did back in the 70s and 80s and leave the other promotions. That's why if Ngannou goes to PFL or Bellator, it will help change the game. Yeah, and I'm all for that. Yeah, but I think Ngannou's chasing big boxing fights, get him a hell of a lot of money, and then he might then come to the UFC and be like, look, okay, let's do this fight with John Jones or Cyril Gane, whoever's at the time, but these are my terms,
Yeah.
So I think that's the ploy that he's going to take.
See, Damo gets it. It's supposed to be an elbow to the stomach. It absolutely was.
Yeah, he's laughing to it.
Split.
No, look.
No.
Draw.
What? It's a draw.
Oh, what?
No, I'll tell you that.
Draw?
Because I think it was just unjust.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, next one down.
The first round then.
Damo says, that's poor. Definitely you're throwing an elbow. He was. That's right. Like,
to the body?
Yeah, he was. What was you watching? It was.
Yeah. It's not effective in that position.
It's all he could do. They were wrapped up. It was more effective than not throwing a blow.
Or it's trying to free your arms so you can throw elbows over the top. That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, but he had to land the blow first. He had to land the blow first. So he went forwards, and that was what it was, a blow to the body. All right, Ash, you're off ski.
Okay,
Take care. Enjoy football with the little lads.
Sort the kids out and get a little one to football. Yeah. I will speak to you boys in a bit.
Speak to you later, brother.
Cage IQ.
Yep.
Cheers.
Later,
yeah,
Ash.
I'll try.
Everyone in the chats, don't forget to drop a like on the video.
Love that, Ash.
Good shout. Yeah. Don't forget
like
to do
that.
I've got to take the little one to football.
Like that. Love
nice,
you.
Get ready and things like that. So I'll speak to you boys in a bit.
Right, go and have it. Peace out, bro. Bye.
Bye. All right.
You guys are stuck with us too.
Why not call it red and blue corner? Says Damien.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
That's just so old school, though. It's like.
Yeah,
you can get more money when you sponsor corners. That's all. It's just money.
I don't think so. Because I mean, if Prime's the main sponsor, then surely they'll put it in the middle of the canvas like they do with with a monster.
Yeah,
so that's
more money.
more significant than putting it in the corners.
Yeah, great. More money as well. But or you get like 2 people on board for less money and still cover the same amount of cost by having 2 people sponsor each corner, which would be cool in one day. But
I think that's
maybe going in that direction. But then that way you can perhaps sell a position easier because it's just not as expensive, but also it's almost as effective.
Yes. Anyhow, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit a like on the video and of course subscribe as well. If you've not been aware, the prize money, we'll see, Ash is not going to be in it for this part of the show, which is going to be quite a shame because he's had to jump off. But as you can see in the bottom corner here, is mine and Ash's. Oh, look, I might get in the way of it. Look. There you go, that corner there. It's mine and Ash's prize pot. So every single week, we're going to be putting that prize pot on our most confident pick and of the main card. And so we put £12 on Da Un Jong in the co-main event. And £12 should get us back. Do you know what? I forgot to ask Ash, actually. I think it was £18, if I remember what.
Yeah, he did say. He did say.
We'll double check with Ash. But next week, tune in next week and you'll see that total maybe rise or maybe go lower. So, be sure to look out for that.
It's a slow incline, but there'll be a point where it just goes from like small gains to like now it's, X amount. So,
exactly. So it's a bit of a road, it's a bit of a journey. And we've got to see if our most confident picks get on top. We start all over again.
Nice.
Oh, Tybura versus Ivanov is our next fight in the heavyweight division. I tell you what, this fight is really intriguing. It was kind of going back and forth on me on this one because Ivanov's a bit of a dog, man.
He is.
You know, he's a slow guy, but he's a bit of a dog. He's quite consistent and he's remains a decent pace throughout his fights, and he's fought some tough guys. But Marcin Tybura, though, is a big dude, does like to wrestle occasionally. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. If you're new and you're just joining us, welcome in. Don't forget to pop a like on the video. Let us know who you're picking in this next fight.
So this is going to be the heavyweight division. Of course, there is no champion in the heavyweight division at the moment.
Exactly.
It's vacant. Now, of course, these guys got a bit of a road to get there, but I think these are probably some of the heavyweights' most trustworthy journeymen you could expect. Like they sort of it's gone again. Is that your battery? That's beyond me. It's wild. Just stick to the TV, I reckon. All right, some more technical difficulties there with the connection and syncing that up, but we shall see. We shall see that in time. Well, that's probably time. I reckon we should get into the history points at least, because I reckon they'll be walking out any minute now. The promotion there was just for the heavyweights that are going to be on this card. We don't actually have a fighter in this week, but it would have been great to have Sadiq Youssef sort of come and just shed some of his humor on this card. I'm not sure if you guys did manage to catch his YouTube or his Instagram earlier this week when he did a bit of a sort of run through of everything that happened on the fights on what's going to be happening in this card. Hilarious guy, generally quite funny, but it's a bit behind, isn't it? You might have to go to standard, JK SD, yeah, because that's we just saw that fight promo. So we'll get less quality, but we'll be fine. All right, so let's get into the expectations here for these guys. So Blagoy Ivanov, he's a pro record of 19 wins and 4 losses. He's got 6 KOs and 6 subs, 8 first-round finishes. UFC stats, it suggests that he's got 3 wins and 3 losses. His UFC debut was back in 2018, and he fought in the PFL and Bellator as well. So we're seeing a lot of southpaws on this card, and these two, don't sort of stray from that trend. You got this guy coming out, a southpaw fighter, black belt in judo. To see judo at heavyweight, though, you don't often. So it's certainly quite interesting. But he's combat. I say that actually, we're going to see Spivak come out a little bit later, sort of utilizing some of that wrestling, but still. Combat sambo background, boxing orientated striker, slow pace fighter who he does plod forward, looking to counter off of whatever you throw him. So he's got a bit of resilient bull in that particular way, in that particular sense. He applies constant pressure, but he's very cautious of his output, you know. And when you are running a tank that big, you do have to be careful of how you burn the fuel. But he's a grinder, you know. He'll work his way into range, rough you up, and sort of close them where you're against the cage as well if he can. And you can bet that in those scenarios, he is trying to catch his breath and regenerate too. That's going to be an important point as well for heavyweights. It's not how much they spend energy; it's just how often are they taking those opportunities to sort of get that back too as well. But yeah, once he gets you in the clinch, he looks opening. He looks for those openings so he can attack the target too. But that's just a little bit there on the Blagoy Ivanov. Chats-wise, if my eyes are going to be good for me, we have Damo Collins over there. What's up, Damo? It's hopefully that's working. Look at me. I've got all the mices, you know? Hey. One on my right hand, one on my left hand. Absolute G. So he says, now I agree with Sai. Definitely trying to throw elbows to the body. I mean, we can see it. It was a forward motion. It was an attack with the elbows to the body. Should never have been taken a point. Was it even a warning? I don't know what happened there. I'm glad it went to a draw. I'm glad, because I think even the judges or whoever was back there recognized that he was done dirty. And there's so much excitement behind this guy. It would have been bad news for either of them if they were to lose that fight. So in my opinion, to fight another day is the best scenario we could ask for in that. Because to lose a point, and I like Choi and who he is and what he's done for the sport historically. He's in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, you got to toss him a bone. I'm glad at least went to a draw, given what happened. If not, he would have won, of course. So got another one up there as well from Damo. Let's get that to display. If it's displaying, I don't know. How do you click this thing? There we go, next one up. There it is. Just took a bit of a moment for some strange reason. So he says, Prime is definitely a better drink than Monster. Wow, okay. I just don't like the harmonizing from Dana saying, I gotta get a bit close for this one. Ariel, it's content creator benefiting off of fighters. Oh, yeah, the hypocrisy. Yeah, the hypocrisy from Dana. Sort of saying that Ariel's a bit benefiting off of fighters. That's exactly what the Prime deal is looking like as well. Look, Damo, it's a very fair point. And if I'm actually honest with you, thanks for pointing that out. I'm not a big fan of hypocrites. And I think that's exactly what is happening. Let's get the timer in 1 second. Bit sort of divided my focus.
I should probably actually close that bit.
Is this off your laptop again?
No, it's off the stick. The laptop came back on, but...
Might as well have it off. Okay, timer's running. We might have shifted in the time for the whole entire event, largely because we're having to sort of change devices here between some technical difficulties with JK's laptop and what we're watching. Something to look into when we've got some time to. Yeah, ways to win. But just real quickly then, thanks for the comments. We'll come back to you as well in a bit, Damo. We'll talk about Ivanov and Tybura here. So, Tybura, not Topuria.
So what do you expect from Ivanov?
Expectation-wise?
Yeah.
It took Ivanov like a while to get going in his last fight against Lima, and he did seem to have a hard time dealing with the explosiveness as well. I don't think that will be the case against Tybura, or as much as I want to call him Tybura. But, you know, both men will probably try to...
Fighters.
Yeah, I know. Similar spelling. But both men will probably try to outmuscle one another and just see who fades first, I'd imagine. And that's, you know, as I was talking about the fighting style of Ivanov, it is a bit like, you know, lay heavy, hard and grind, and he does look for those opportunities to catch his breath back in the clinch exchanges as well. So we could see a bit of that happening a bit later on. But it's I guess he would also want to sort of get in close, do that damage when against the cage, and peel away for in those clinch exchanges, landing quite heavy on those breaks.
Yeah, he's very effective with his output. Is Ivanov.
I think the output striker in this though would be Tybura.
Yeah.
Tybura.
Tybura! Who are you, Ash?
I said Tybura.
No, you keep saying Tybura.
I'll correct myself. He's just tempted.
Dear, you know, he can't even say Tybura.
He can't say either of them, let's be honest. But it's just tempting.
As for Tybura though,
bigger guy though. Look at this.
Yeah, huge dude. He done an excellent job at weathering the early storm against Romanov in his last bout. But I'm expecting a much tougher test this time out, surprisingly, you know. And I think it goes back to the amount of output, really, that Blagoy Ivanov puts on you. And so Tybura will want to use his size to his advantage in the clinch exchanges. However, he will need to be careful of Ivanov's judo skills. He can't get tripped and end up on his back, basically. And as you can see, Ivanov, Blagoy Ivanov. I keep saying when I say Ivan Blagoy.
Blagoy Ivanov! I don't know if I shout it. Does it make it a bit clearer to you?
No.
No, I don't think so.
I'm expecting Tybura to attack Ivanov's midsection a lot in this on the feet, and it's something he does quite a lot in his fights, and I think it probably will work quite well against someone like Ivan.
You say that, but looking at the height difference, going to the midsection seems a bit far away from Ivanov as well. In this, you got to punch underneath the striking of Tybura, and he's doing a great job as well, shutting Ivanov shutting Tybura down as he enters into range. But yeah, in terms of the height advantage and the reach he's got, he needs to be playing a bit of a different strategy than to go into the body, in my opinion, unless he's going to throw those kicks there. I do like the stance changes.
Throw a few more, to be honest, when Ivanov looks to close distance. Ivanov's got quite small reach.
He does.
He's very tight and very compact as a fighter, and he's got to get in close. And so far, he's doing a good job at it.
He's countering 1-2s off of everything that Tybura throws.
Oh, stiff right hand from Tybura. Sends Ivanov back.
Weesh. Punishing him. Yeah, let's get some more of those chats from Damon.
Cage Mike Q says, Blagoy has really good sambos, that's freestyle wrestling traits. Tybura will have the striking advantage. Yeah.
Saying that, Blagoy is doing well on the feet.
He is, yeah.
Just in the countering, catching Tybura on those entries.
Oof, head kick attempt from...
But yeah, you're right. Tybura on paper should be doing better in the stand-up. He needs to be utilizing his reach a lot more than he is.
Yeah.
He's got that advantage and he's not playing to it so much. Oh, nice.
Ooh, blocked. Flurry was blocked there.
It was blocked. But I mean, he rushed in on that strike. The first one being the most effective one. But I don't know why he's fighting to get into the pocket when he can reach from outside.
Yeah, I know.
He can do all the work from the outside, and he
just needs to disrupt Ivanov's rhythm, I think, a bit more.
Yeah, decent.
It's pretty... Yeah, it's the same patterns. Hello, says Ash. Ash is in the chats.
Hello.
Cage Mike Q says, more combos from Blagoy.
Yeah.
Singular strikes by Tybura. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Good shot. And that's the end of round one. Who do we give that one to? That's difficult.
It's tough, isn't it?
On picks wise, I think I've actually gone for... Did I go for Tybura?
It wouldn't be silly if you did Ivanov, to be honest.
No, I was... I know this had me on the fence a little bit. Yeah, I did go for Tybura in the end.
I can't remember now if I said knockout or...
I just fancy this the size advantage and strength over Ivanov.
Who do you reckon's going to have the cardio for the longevity here for the duration?
Ivanov, I think, yeah.
Ooh.
But I don't think... I can't see Tybura fading drastically in this fight. I think he's still going to do enough.
I did pick him for decision, and I should have just gone with any.
Yeah, I mean, this was always going to go to a decision.
Oh yeah,
could have gambled on the app, to be honest. I could have gambled on this one and just picked decision.
But who takes it? The thing is, they're throwing in the heavyweights. You don't often see a lot of decisions. I mean, they're throwing heavy power, especially these big boys. But they've come off a lot of decisions.
I mean, they're not the biggest of power punchers, though, either of these two.
Yeah.
The division.
Yeah. It's true.
I mean, I can't remember. I didn't hear the history points, but Tybura.
Oosh. Yeah, if you're looking at
9 knockout wins.
Yeah, 6 subs as well, though. But 10 first-round finishes, which is pretty impressive. I mean, out of his 23, it's half his career. So
19 wins. So, yeah.
So we're not really seeing. But you think if anyone's going to be initiating wrestling, it would be Ivanov.
I don't know. No, I think it would be Tybura. I think Ivanov will sort of look for trips in the clinch exchanges, but he'll prefer to strike.
Yeah,
like we saw that in his fight against Tybura.
Yeah. See, that was quite effective just there.
Ooh,
wow, he's missed there. Tybura has got that teep kick is an effective long range weapon.
Yeah.
He definitely needs to be using more.
That's what I keep saying, man. Yeah,
He's just not. I don't know why he's fighting as though he's fighting someone his size and
too much on these as well.
Who, Tybura?
Yeah,
he needs to be fighting on with those long range weapons. I think.
know, but he's not. But he's falling up short every time. Ivanov's doing a good job actually of managing distance.
Countering him. Oh yeah, he's sort of like, oh, that teep kick could be more effective, a bit better. Yeah, he's evading, starting just out of range and coming back, and it's very talented. It's great that he's able to do that, but still, Tybura doesn't have to chase him into the pocket there. He's not going to the distance managed very well. He's absorbing too many strikes that he doesn't need to be. Just by stepping back a bit, he could avoid it.
Don't forget to pop a like on the video, guys, and let us know who you picked in this fight. KHMIQ saying, looking at scorecards for Nelson/Choi, 2 judges gave Nelson rounds 2 and 1. Gave him round 1 and 3. Hang on, let me read that again.
Getting confused there.
2 judges gave Nelson round 2, and 1 gave and 1 gave him round 1 and 3. Was 9-9. Oof. But yeah, I guess it did come up to that round 2 in that fight, and for me, Nelson had the most significant. I don't know. I'd have to watch the round back, to be honest. I can't remember.
The time has just stopped there, so it'd be off a little bit. I'm confused by that. So the judge gave him round 1 and 2. 2 judges gave him round 1 and 2.
Two judges gave Nelson
the least
round
convincing
2,
round.
And 1 gave round 1 and 3.
I'm pretty sure round 3 was far more convincing, again because of the point deduction.
Yeah,
than round 2 was.
Yeah, so two judges would have gave it round 2 and 3.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Right. I thought it said round 1 and 2. 2 and 3.
And 1 gave it 1 round 9-9. Oh, wait. So 1 judge gave it a draw for 3rd round. Okay. I'll have to have a look at that. It should be
wild. That, yeah. I mean, I'm glad it was a draw ultimately as well, because Choi didn't deserve to lose, in my opinion. And there was no other outcome in that fight.
So 1 judge gave it
where he won with a point deduction.
1 judge gave it 28-28. Oh, yeah, 2 judges gave it 28-28. Okay.
Yeah. There's no way he would have won that fight without a finish. But he just also didn't deserve a lose. Wow.
Wild exchanges now. We're getting wild.
It's happening.
Boys.
Bro, it's happening.
Big boys are getting wild.
Minute here left in this second round. That went quick.
Yeah.
That flew by. And you got Tybura there laying heavy leather, throwing 1-2 combinations, overextending that last one. Ivanov looks like he's taking back center of the canvas, and he's holding his own. Cardio-wise, I'll say they're both faring quite well. Labored low leg kick there from Tybura.
I don't know who's going to take this round.
Not a lot of them being thrown, to be fair, but I wouldn't mind seeing that teep kick again, as I was saying, like really stab that belly. The same sort of teep kick that Garn used against Tuivasa. That's what you want to see more of here. It's a brutal, devastating blow, but that could be far more effective. And
I don't think Tybura is very quick with it.
No. If he's throwing leg kicks, that would be the one. That's the long range weapon. There it is.
Bosh.
Yeah, more of them.
It's good disguise of it as well. Got to mix it up. End of round number 2.
And we're going into 3. Yeah, who do you reckon? Who had that one?
Oh, mate. Ooh, dear. No idea. It is 7:20 here in the UK.
Oh, good morning.
Cage My IQ, how are you holding up, buddy? Are you keeping awake via coffee? Now you know what it feels like to be us when these fight nights are on at 12 a.m. normally.
How you doing over in the States? Are you still with us, or have you gone and found the pillow? Let us know. That'd be interesting to know, eh?
Yeah, I think maybe a lot of people in the US will duck out and not get to the main event.
Is it fair to say this is how you sort of now find your US casuals? Who's that? To be fair, it's not a fight card to blow your hair back. So even if you weren't a casual, it might not be one to stay up for.
Cage My IQ says Blagoy needs to use those body shots more. Yeah, maybe mix it up. Go body.
Blagoy can
in those exchanges, and he's got it 1-1 at the moment. Who's winning the fight, boy? Says Ash. Do you know, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, that first round was really hard to say, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Second round, I would have given to Tybura.
Yeah, and then we got Tybura trying to use some wrestling here, trying to get Ivanov down. He's going to look to take the back. He's got one hook in, but he can't get the other hook in because the cage is in the way.
He's trying to take that base away, that hand away. It's good.
220 here, but hanging tight. Been watching since 6 p.m. when Bellator started. Mate, you are a true fan. Yes, Cage My IQ.
Love that.
Mate, I hope you slept for majority of the day. See, that would have been ideal, wouldn't it, really? You know, go to bed late, then the previous morning, sleep for majority of the day.
Where are you based, Cage My IQ? You over here in the UK, right?
No, he said earlier, he's in the US.
He said he's been watching at 6 p.m.
Yeah, but earlier he said it was 1 a.m. where he was, so therefore he is in the East Coast.
I mean, I thought he meant 6 a.m., but yeah.
No, because the fights didn't start 6 p.m. over here, did they?
No, that's why I thought he meant 6 a.m. over here, which would make sense because he's been watching like an hour ago, isn't he? But if he's doing it at 6 p.m., he's really...
take a nice nap in the afternoon. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Naps.
Yeah, they're clever.
That. All prepared, mate. Love the preparation.
Okay, Tybura needs to take that base away there. See that hand? If he reaches for that, pulls it in, then he can find himself in a stronger position, hips raised.
Indeed, that's right.
And start raining things down. But here we go. High hips is the way here. And this, he's just got to hold him down. Do not let him up for the next 3 minutes. And it could be a fight to Tybura, in my opinion.
I mean, he's trying to prevent Ivanov from getting back to his feet.
It's that base there, and it's just such a lazy hand. There's not much.
No, it's difficult to get hold of. You got to control the body as well.
Yeah, but that's what's
now.
Here
he
goes
to take it. Now he looks to take it because he's got that right arm on the far side.
The trouble is, here we go.
Whereas he didn't have that before because there you go. You got Ivanov shuffling.
He still hasn't got that right hand though, but this is better. He's yeah, okay. There we go. Now he's able to sort of advance up.
Now he can control.
It's you want to have the higher hips ultimately. If your hips are higher, then you're going to have a bit more of an advantage, and your weight fundamentally, your opponent's carrying more of your weight. So higher hips, and he's lost that hand again. He needs to get it back. But yeah, no, it's a strong position. It's a strong position. It's a great position to be in. And I think if he can hold it for another 2 minutes 20. Ooh, he found himself on top here. Hooks her in. Hey, he's rolling with it.
Doing a good job of breaking away.
Take that hand away. He's literally just that little toothpick hand. Watch that cage. This is great. Tybura is rolling and rolling with him, staying on top.
Yeah, it's difficult.
He needs to put his hips a bit higher in this one.
I'm in New Jersey,
flatten him out.
Philadelphia. Says Cage My IQ.
Yo.
I think I remember you saying being near Jersey.
Oh, Philly. Hooks are in.
Bellator
fight on the back.
6 p.m. That's right.
1 minute and 37 left here in the fight.
Yeah, and Tybura's gonna seal this round with effective grappling. Managed to take the back, which is probably it's the most dominating position.
Yeah. This is looking fairly good. His hands are really wrapped up a bit there from Ivanov there. But Ivanov's catching his breath as well. And it's these moments when he's looking to recharge. I do feel like Tybura is
he's running out
at work. Yeah.
He needs to do his best to explode out of this position.
He needs to pick that lock. So those legs, if he's able to to loosen up just one of them. The risk there is, of course, exposing the head for strikes, but Tybura's not throwing any strikes at the head. I wouldn't mind him doing that. I guess the risk is losing position, but just distract his hands a bit, get some points. Because otherwise, he could be... It's still effective grappling, though, isn't it? It's not like he's just holding him.
Like, see some strikes in this position here.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
But I think he'd be sacrificing...
He's been told to...
the position, because Ivanov looks quite close to getting back to his feet.
Yeah, that's true. Those knees are... Yeah, I wouldn't mind if he throw those hands, he's break that lock. Yeah. Yeah, he breaks that lock and then Ivanov makes a move. So that was a risk in that. He was able to maintain it, which is good. 12 seconds left here in the final. Those knees which are good. Yeah, keep him going. Nice.
Ooh,
and he's up.
Back to his feet.
A little too late, though.
And that's the end of the fight. How we score that?
I got to give that to Tybura. Surely. Yeah, and if he just had one of the other rounds, be it first or second.
Gutted.
And that's it.
Special hands here, thanks. God, props to the guys over in the US. So,
doing it, mate. Doing it.
Fanatics app. Pop a like on the video if you're doing well on the scores so far tonight.
I don't know.
Overall, I think I'm still first.
I've not looked at these all night, to be fair.
At the moment, potentially.
Oh, ninth. That's a race.
Ninth. Yeah. That's joint ninth, right?
No idea. No, it looks like I'm in ninth.
That's quite poor. About 10 people done picks tonight.
Oh, I see.
This event.
14. Yeah. Okay. Fair. Oh, because I was in the graveyard of like 30 at the beginning.
I'm still top overall. Whoosh.
Yeah,
Dustin won last
month.
Bro.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Plus 740.
Cage My IQ said 29-28 Tybura. Yes, Philippe Lagrange. Sup, guys? Just woke up. Have the card been good so far? I think we had some good prelims fights. The first fight was quite intriguing when Adam Fugitt got the win. But the last two fights haven't been blowing your hair back as much.
No.
Duho Choi versus Carl Nelson was a bit disappointing. Duho Choi couldn't really get his hands off in that fight. But thanks for joining in, of course, as always, Philippe. And Tybura picks up the decision victory.
Solid, that.
Yep.
Let's go, Tybura.
Good stuff, man. Get off your phone, boys, says Ash. Yeah, fair point.
What you want, mate?
We were doing the fight picks, mate. Who's winning?
What you want?
Right, I'm going to try and have a fiddle. We'll see if it will come up and not be laggy.
So, what happens next? Why not carry on like this? What's the issue? We far behind?
I don't know.
We should be in line with it, to be honest. But yeah, just check. If it's not too far behind, we'll deal with the quality. Ash, you ready, mate? What comes next is your co-main event, bro. So this is the one you put the pot on, boys, right?
Yep.
So that's the one to come up. So I say a lot riding on this, but it's just these guys are a little bit more invested in this one. So my question to you, though, and Ash, drop in chats if you can. Why were you so confident about this pick out of all the picks on the card? Why did this one do it to you? I'd be keen to know. Well, you tell me when you come back. It's on par, yeah? Yeah, just leave it then. Yeah, because the thing, if it happens again, then you're up again, aren't you? Yeah, he's better quality. Cool. Well done, Tybura.
Yes, so you were asking of why
Oh, look at him there. Yuri Prohaska. Yeah, why is this co-main event your most confident pick on the main card? So much confident that you put your whole 12 pounds on it. Because,
to be honest, I just don't really have a lot of confidence in Devin Clark. And I think Dawoon Jong has got some really good skills. I think he's quite explosive. He's not the most nimble on the feet, but he's fought some good guys and some tough competition. He's been quite unlucky as well. I thought the last fight was an unlucky stoppage. against Dustin Jacoby. It was quite a close fight. He did get hit solid, though. Yeah, I mean, you can contest it, but I don't know. It was so clean. Was it worthy of a stoppage? I'm still kind of unsure thinking about it. But I like the fact that he beat Kennedy and Nzechukwu. Of course, MMA maths doesn't add up. Kennedy and Nzechukwu is coming off a win against Ion Cutelaba, and Ion Cutelaba beat Devin Clark. So
yeah,
could potentially be a bit of a triangle there. But I just fancy this guy's chances.
I think it's the one, yeah.
You know.
Okay, interesting enough. Shall we get into the get into the fight expectations?
Yes, let's get into the fight noise, and don't forget to hit a like on the video if you're just joining us for this event. You're just waking up here in the UK, or perhaps if you're tuning into this fight the next day later on
today.
Then feel free to pop a comment below, of course, as well.
We are all over the threshold now.
Ash says, I put you boys back on and you're both sat there on your phones. That's what I'm on about. Well, yeah, I know. We were checking the fight league. I was checking the fight league anyways.
That's what I was doing as well.
Cage My IQ says, Gabriel Benitez pulled out of his co-main event fight versus Jim Miller. That was scheduled for 2 weeks from now. Oh, that was going to be co-main? Wow. Really? That's crazy. I don't think that was...
Who's that?
I don't think that was going to be the case. Gabriel Benitez against Jim Miller. That's a tough fight for Benitez. Benitez has had some tough fights in the UFC so far. Jim Miller, I think, still a bit of a stud, to be honest. Jim Miller's going to fight at UFC 300, though. I think he's going to save himself for that because he fought at UFC 100 and 200. So I think I'm hoping Jim Miller isn't as active this year. Let's get to UFC 300, Jim.
Oosh. I mean, how many fights does he need to have before UFC 300? Do you reckon 2? We can do it in 1.
Yeah, I reckon so.
1, 2 or 1?
What card was he going to be on?
UFC 300 was going to be the latter end of next year.
I'd have a look, but I can't.
2 years from now?
Maybe. We're not far away from it.
What we're now 2/8.
It's got to be next year, early next year.
Oh, you could probably, if there's one, let's say there's one pay-per-view a month.
But there's 2 next month.
2 next month. Yeah, on average, because we didn't have one.
So I'd say 12. So you look at maybe 13 pay-per-views.
So about a year from now.
Across the year.
Yeah, so
I don't know how many months have
about a year and a half to 2 years.
But I think it's normally like 1 month gets 2 pay-per-views. So yeah, my guess would be 13.
I mean, either way, 2 or 1, yeah, they're about 12 to 13. You talk about a year and a half to 2 years until we see UFC 300.
It had got pushed up with Sanhagen Vera being moved back to UFC San Diego in March. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I still can't see. I might just search
move in a little bit. All right, let's get into the fight expectations for these boys. So we're looking now at Devin Clark, who's here on screen and talking to us about his little pre-fight promotion here in Choi. Dawoon Jung, sorry. Okay, so pro record of 13 wins, 7 losses. This is Devin Clark. He's got 4 KOs and 1 sub, 2 first-round finishes. UFC stats suggest that he's got 7 wins and 7 losses, so he's pretty much 50-50 there in UFC. And then he's got his UFC debut that happened back in 2016. That's Devin Clark. Fighting style. JK?
Yeah, fighting style for Devin Clark, for Dawoon Jung.
Nah, Devin.
Devin Clark. Devin Clark on the left side, is he?
No, right side. We'll go 1 for 1. Taking turns.
Yes, Devin Clark switches between orthodox and southpaw. He's quick to go to work straight from the off. When he secures the body lock, he's looking to create some distance, to land hard knees to the body and sits down on those sneaky punches on the break. He's got big, powerful legs, which are built to land hard kicks, and even throws that teep kick up the middle like a jab. And he's capable of mixing in the striking with his wrestling quality.
He's quite a versatile fighter, isn't he? He really is. Just looked at that fight against Knight, and man, he had the power there too. He did look good. But you see different shades of him from time to time, I think. Jung Da-un, so let's get into some of his history points. He's a pro record of 15 wins, 3 losses, 11 KOs and 2 subs, 6 first round finishes, and his UFC stats say that he's got 4 wins and 1 loss. UFC debut was back in 2019.
Yes, and he's an orthodox fighter. He comes out in an upright stance, keeping his hands loose and baiting his head. He's quite a patient striker who usually lures you into exchanging first before firing his counters. We saw the power he possesses with his elbows against Kennedy and Sergey. They're pretty lethal against the cage. He uses his lead hand to control the guard of his opponents so he can slip strikes through the opening gap. He's got some wrestling to his game. He favors the body lock into the outside trip most of all when he's trying to secure takedowns. What I've noticed. But what can we expect from Devin Clark, who's in the prep point now?
So as he gets ready, I think, he also has his initials on the back of his biceps like Jacoby does. So I wonder if that's a sign to the kind of people that that Unfools loses to. I don't know. That's just a wild coincidence, I guess. Maybe they forget their names. I think Clark will actually be the quicker fighter on this one. Probably, especially in the stand-up. Like, he wasn't the one to sort of press the action in his last fight, but I can see him actually having the confidence to lead the dance in this one. In previous fights, we actually saw Clark hesitate, even engaging against heavy hitters. I mean, rightly so. I mean, he was up there with William Knight. Not to say he had much hesitation there. He's done a great job against him, but I do think we'll see him open up more this time and just throw more freely. He would actually need to throw extensive combinations, I think, in order to close the distance. I mean, you're looking at someone who's like he's far taller than him, and you'll see that when he comes on out. But we'd like to see him back Ung Jung up towards the cage and unleash his power from in those kind of scenarios.
Yeah. As for Ung Jung, I'm hoping he will.
I was just going to say, I think it's the same tattoo parlor too, because it's the same sort of typology.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
What do we need to talk about that?
Coincidence,
I'm hoping
coincidence.
that Da Un Jung will want to come out and make a statement in this fight. He felt like his fight against Dustin Jacoby was stopped early, like I was saying before. We'll have the height and reach advantage by a country mile, so I'd like to see him fight to his edge. I'm expecting a more defensively sound Da Un Jung in this fight. I feel like he was too confident and relaxed in the last fight against Jacoby. Makes you think perhaps he came into the fight with an injury, or the energy of the crowd just kind of got to him a little bit too much. Obviously now we're at the Apex. Not as much of a loud audience, so hopefully he can stay a little bit more level-headed.
Yeah, you did see it as a huge factor in his last one, wasn't it? As well, he was a little bit reckless while his chin was there.
The performances last two performances was differently.
Yeah,
Jacoby's no slouch either. You know, he's a nightmare.
Yeah, no, really is. But I think there's some underestimation there. But yeah, that was his first audience, and maybe he can go back to some basics here and really get the job done. I mean, look how high he is. Lucio is reaching for the bleachers, for the nosebleeds in order to put out Vaseline on.
Yes, Ash and I have gone 12 pounds on this guy. Let's get the pot growing, guys. Let's get the pot growing. Oh, right.
I'm just keen to see him stand next to each other.
Co-main. Can't believe he wants a co-main. Is this co-main already?
Yeah, man.
This is crazy.
It's quick. What's the time?
It's 20 to 8.
Potentially could be the fastest.
2.5.
Yeah, look at that height difference.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, you didn't have that many heavyweights on there. We just had lots of submissions in the prelims.
Yeah, it's been flying through.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess usually these are 6-fight cards, aren't they?
Yeah, true.
But going back to the point earlier, Cage might accuse about Jim Miller. So he fought twice last year. He's on a 3-fight win streak. So, you know, the old dog's not out at all. But I think he'll be wanting to still preserve his spot for UFC 300. Benitez is not too much of a killer. So, I think still would be a good fight for him. Mm-hmm. Devin Clark, Brown Bear.
For a second, I thought he did have the DJ initials at the back of his biceps. No, it's DC, but
I'm still
it looks
confused
like a
what
J.
that thing is on his chest.
It's like
it looks like antlers, but it kind of looks like he's got a dog in the middle of it. Come on, JK, it's time. Yes, Ash, this is it. Money's on the line for Dao Jong. Let's get it going.
How much money did you put on your son's football team this morning, Ash? Just wondering, did you rack a bit on that as well?
Can't bet.
Oh, you can't. Yeah, be against interest. Get disqualified and kicked out of the UFC. I mean,
yeah, completely James Groused, mate.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Everyone who's trained with you can no longer play in the league.
Keeper's injured. Putting money on the side. Yeah, it kind of looks like a dog in the middle.
How do you know he's injured? I twatted him this morning.
Booted him, so I put money.
How old are the kids you play with?
And we're in first round of the co-main event. Let us know who you're picking in.
Oh, explosions from Clark
in the chats.
And he's straight in there, closing the range. He's got a clinch and he's up against the cage, which is an interesting position to have against a taller guy. I guess you do want to be on the inside here, and keeping it this close is removing those long-range weapons from play. Yeah.
88% takedown defense. Don't worry, JK, says Ash. Thanks for filling us in this moment.
I love it. I love it. Just Ash just comforting you through the chats.
All in.
Now, looking at this, I think, what strategies does Jung bring to this fight? Because we saw in his last fight against Knight, he had the perfect strategy. He just hugged him and took him down. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, because he was the smaller guy.
Yeah. Now, what strategy does he bring here? Because I think he's a very decent strategy fighter. How does he combat the weapons and the output of Clark?
Well, I think, first of all, you got to at least test the strength of Clark here in these positions as well. Because, I guess strength is one of his best attributes. It's not always cardio. But
and those thighs, you seen them. See how thick those thighs are.
There we go.
Oh, and he done the old...
Don John looking to take the back to the fence, though, now.
He nearly just did that. That was looking like this very simple William Knight trip that he did.
Yeah,
did all fight against him.
That's what we said in the
exact same one over.
History points.
Yeah.
Like to get the trip. To get the fight to the ground.
Particularly against William Knight, he was susceptible to it. But, you can see Clark recovered from that pretty well. But yeah, Jung's still bringing it to this fight. Same tools. Why not? Basics.
Just Devin Clark's thighs, man.
Yeah, massive, aren't they?
They look like, the Popeye guys, right? Who just inject oil into their biceps and it's like out here and out there.
Yeah.
That's what his thighs look like.
That's just...
Not biceps, though, of course.
Yeah.
Just injects oil into those thighs, mate. He's all about the thigh game.
Man, it's huge. I haven't taken my eyes off them. They are tree trunks. But I haven't seen him use them yet. I mean, and I guess, naturally, it's keeping them up. He's using them now.
Keeping them up at the moment. Doing all right.
I've not seen him throw them.
Don Jong looking for ways to get this fight to the ground.
Yeah, good enough from Clark, trying to constantly getting his feet underneath him and standing up. It's great. It's really good.
Knees. I think I want to see Don Jong mixing some knees to the back of the legs here.
Yeah, attack those thighs, break them down, chop at them.
And then look for that trip. Ooh, Devin Clark looking to explode into pocket here. Ooh, he's got a tie plum. Ooh,
big elbow front, decent.
Elbows over the top.
It's all dirty boxing now. Oh,
I think he may have wobbled Clark with that shot.
I know, but he got the best of that exchange. A head kick from Clark to follow up straight up after. Who's to say who done the most damage?
Oof.
Whoa. Can this possibly go the distance? They're throwing so much at such speed.
I don't know.
Whoa.
Ooh, Devin Clark going for a takedown. Wow.
Great trip. He had the speed in that.
Yeah, but Don Jong's back to his feet.
Yeah. Decent. That's very important as well, because if Jung found himself underneath Clark.
Underhook, turn him. Go on Don Jong. Turn him. Ooh, good knee to the body.
Nice, decent, not bad.
Come on.
He needs to get that elbow on the break as well.
Clark was very wise to duck in at that moment.
He was. Do you reckon it missed? I thought
I think it missed.
Ooh.
Straight shot. Oh, that groin shot.
That was a groin shot.
Wants to carry on.
Oof.
Managed to eat a left hand though. Oof.
Not too bad. I think Jung needs to keep it at that range. He had a decent advantage there.
Yeah. Explosiveness of
Clark though,
man.
You're right. He can get in on the inside.
Oh, no! Takedown attempt from Jung failed.
Yeah, he ended up on the bottom of that. Could have gone either way.
This is not what the position he wanted to be in.
It's not ideal. Could have lost a round. It was 20 seconds to go. Will he survive is a big question at this point. And Clark is trying to ensure he doesn't. Or at least make sure he goes into the second round with something sore. Decent enough. He's not too bad to get his legs underneath him. Survive a little longer.
Mate, Devin Clark.
He's done it.
That's the end
Not
of the
bad.
round. 1-0 Clark's caged my IQ. And
Agreed.
yeah, I think
It all came down to that
down
last.
to the vital moments there. We
last
good.
30 seconds, I'll say.
Clark will slow, says Ash. Ash, I wonder how you're watching this.
Are you watching this, Ash?
You must be. You must be.
I think he's just sort of. Is he taking it from a commentary? He's here.
No, he's like, babe, can I borrow your phone for the day? I need 2 phones.
And also,
I need the boys on feed.
Can I borrow you?
Fights on feed.
Can I borrow you some money for the feed as well? Because you also got to pay to watch it, haven't you? BT.
No. Well, yeah, if you're paying for BT Sport. If he's got Virgin.
Has he got it on his phone? Is he?
Yeah, he's got the Virgin Go app on his phone.
Oh, that's how he's done it then.
Yeah, Devin Clark with a nasty injury. 1-0 down, John.
All right, round 2. We're getting ready.
He's shown blood.
I can hear Ash even now saying timer. I can hear
That
him.
looks like a dog in the middle. That's a dog. Dog with
Antlers either side of a.
I mean, it's 2 sets of antlers together, maybe, but it kind of looks like a dog with eyes.
Is it like
in the middle?
Is it like one of those sort of skeleton?
I mean, all dogs have eyes, but you know what I mean.
What
What I was meant to say is it looked like his eyes.
It's like a dog with eyes. But
Early mornings do too.
it could be like a skeleton. And you know, you got the like a skeleton skull face of an animal.
Oh, okay.
Could
Maybe.
be this. Oh, that knee came up, but it didn't quite connect.
No.
Hands together, gone for a ride.
For a ride. Devin Clark with the wrestling.
Devin Clark put a little bit of oomph on that takedown. He wrapped up the legs, trying to advance. Clark, Jung's done a good job there, reaching around to the back of his thigh.
Ooh.
That's not bad. Oh, wow, and he's found the back.
Escape there from Jung.
Jung done well to turn that and get out of that. It looked really bad, but
I think Jung needs to get execute a takedown on his own.
when I saw him do what he did against Knight, I thought he just practiced a strategy for that fight. But this guy,
Yeah, but I think the height advantage
this
played
is-
into his favor massively in that fight.
That's true. It was just in the basic drips. I didn't think this was part of his actual sort of fighting arsenal. But you know, after this fight, I can confidently say he's a good grappler.
Yeah.
You know, not just a strategy. This is something that's part of his fighting DNA now. He's worked in it very well.
Oh yeah. Yep. All right.
Clark's done a great job controlling that forearm of him.
It's been very difficult for Jung to try and at least get round to the back.
Yeah, he's using that cage.
Oh,
Wow, Clark.
Devin Clark with the creative reversals there. Beautiful
Real
stuff.
creative reversal. Threw that hand over the head, slipped out that back door, and now he's got Jung against the fence and his hands together. So there could be a potential ride coming on a little later, coming soon near you. Let's find out.
Yes, that's right. John Gooden.
What did he say?
Chaining the arts effectively here.
I thought he said something else.
Clark is being a leech in this fight, says Cage My IQ.
Yeah.
He is.
Go on, the JK. Let's hear it. A leech.
No, I can't be honest. I got the energy for that. It requires a lot of energy.
You do it like no one else.
Yeah, a lot of clinch exchanges in this fight. It's back and forth, man.
I actually want to ask you a little question later as well. We'll probably get to the end of the card before we jinx anything, but I'd like to know not only your fight of the night, but also your biggest disappointment of the night. Something you expected to see but didn't see, or maybe something that happened that you shouldn't have happened. Because I've got an idea myself, actually. But let's see how the rest of the fight pans out, because it might change. I think if there's ever a card you can have a disappointment of the night, it might be this one. Although so far, out of 10, it was never really going to be.
Oh, no, he was never going to hit off.
No.
No. I mean, the main event could probably hit off.
Yeah.
Oh, good Ooh, good right hand.
I was really hoping for Choi. That Choi, the last fight that happened to really, that one was going to be my fight tonight, but didn't really. Not bad.
Oof.
Not bad. Great. And do you know what? Round 2, 1 minute and 40 left.
And so far, Devin Clark's just hugged him the whole time.
Pretty much. And I'll give Devin Clark the first round as well. So what does what does Jung need to be doing here that's significant enough to start looking ahead?
Hard to say in these
Range.
positions. He's got to get out of the positions, but at the same time, you got to think: is Devin Clark doing anything effective?
No, not really. I mean, to be fair, with Jung, a couple big clouts to the head. If he just lands heavy and just a couple times, he could take this round. Because you're right, nothing really effective is coming from Clark.
No,
but
I guess these little elbows on the break and stuff are going to add up quite a bit.
They are good. They are quite good. I'll do it again if I was him as well. Clark seems to turn the back of his head, which is not wise, but you could see a knockout come by that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a way. Did Daun Jong finish? No, he finished not on the ground, didn't he?
It's not too bad. Yeah, you're not really seeing him sort of take full advantage of that reach, that height,
I mean, yeah,
because Clark's too close.
In his position, it doesn't really look that different.
Mate.
Too different. Ooh, elbow strike.
Clark with those elbows, yeah.
Taking a page out of Connor's book.
Yeah, certainly. It should really be the taller fighter utilizing those elbows, those shoulders, sorry. That's
really.
I mean, look where his shoulder is. You see the way his shoulder is?
Ooh.
Being a taller fighter, he's got a better position to really land that to the face.
And that's end of round 1.
Oh.
Oh.
Door,
Clark
steady on.
out of the cage.
Mate, I thought it was in the WWE all of a sudden.
Fight.
Do you know what I mean? It was someone coming in with a chair. What are you pushing people outside of the ring for? Wild.
End of round 2. Who did you put in the chat, guys?
I would have gone Devin Clark that one too.
Round. Oof.
In theory. Will Daun Jung bang?
The third round, yes. Let's see.
Will he bang?
Up.
I think he needs to bang. I think he needs to get a knockout.
Both guys are pretty tired. 2-0 Clark says Cage My IQ.
Yeah, I would say so.
Damn.
Jung's got a bang.
Round could weigh in on 12 pounds.
Yeah, Clark is looking good.
But he's still not been very effective. He's just hugged him for the whole fight.
It's true.
Daun Jong looking ready to get back into it.
Those shoulders that we saw were the most significant strikes of that round, either piece. So, whilst he's not been effective, just that little bit more so than Jung has been. And hopefully his corner's told Jung exactly how it is. And he's coming out here looking to get that, to take full control of the win here.
So far we've got Daun Jong pressing the pace on Devin Clark at the moment. Devin Clark with a level change.
It's great. Timed it well.
But no execution as of yet. Pushes Daun Jong against the cage.
Those underhooks are great from Jong.
There we go.
See, this is good. Just heard there from Sanko. She was just saying about throwing that knee when it comes to level, which he did do earlier. He did throw a knee as Clark came on in.
Ooh,
there we go.
I was anticipating it that time.
He's listening then, yeah.
Heard.
I guess the issue there was it wasn't effective before, and he's still not finding it now. It's easy. It's just easier said than done, you know. Just far easier said than done.
Yeah, man. It's all about time and calculation. Feint. The knee.
Yeah, that can work. Yeah,
yes.
not a bad shot there, Sanko. I guess one of the things there is it's a tricky one because you throw a knee and you fail, then you've got one leg on the ground susceptible to that takedown. So it's always a bit of risk in it. But if you feint it, yeah, that's a good shout. Just sort of keep at bay from it.
Ooh, head kick attempt from Daun Jong. Devin Clark back on the takedown.
Also, another thing is just keeping, instead of having your outside.
Yes! takedown. Yes. Be effective. Let's get a sub. Let's go. Let's go.
That's literally like 101 takedowns. But if it works,
it's gonna pass the mount.
Yeah, that cage is there. If thing is, if he gets too close to that fence, it's going to make it real difficult for Jung to get in on that side, and it's slowly edging that way. Here we go. He's using it.
He's in half guard here.
Yeah,
Don't think
that use of the fence
control. I think he will probably look to go straight to a mount if he can. But
if Jung could push off that fence and then jump over to the other side control, yeah, he's got a head and arm there. Yeah, that fence is actually helping Clark out a lot. Here we go, pushing off the fence.
Away.
That's what he's got to do. Get him away from the fence. And then get over.
Oh, we're going to take him back.
Nearly. If he can ride him. Oh, he's out the back door.
Oh, no. There's Clark on top. God, dear.
Just for that second, it just seemed like Jung was like, where did he go?
Jung's going to break the grip here.
If he can, but that's a strong grip from Clark.
It is.
Very strong grip.
Oh, he's going to spin. Turn into him. Oh.
Oof. I got questions. Oi.
Oh, good right hand at the top from Clark.
Not bad. There we go. Some stand-up encounters here. Clark still looks fast.
He does.
He's got that speed.
Pretty slow.
And he's mixed up really well.
Fighting off takedowns for the whole fight.
He really has been. I got a question as well. So you put a bet on the fight that ends up in the draw? Just get your money back, or
you get your money back.
No,
just stay all.
Thought so.
Still stay.
Nobody wins. I don't think this is going to be a draw, bro.
No.
It's just something I hope for, at least.
Tie clinch here from Dan Jong. Got both arms clasped behind the head.
His hands, no.
But it means that Devin Clark is able to free his hands to get the body lock again.
Well, we're 1 minute here in the final stretch.
It is indeed.
And so far, it's really been a hugging affair. Who was it? He said in chat earlier they want to see more hands throwing and less hugging.
That was Damo.
Damo. Yeah, I hear you, bro. We're seeing a lot in this fight. But, Clark is explosive, powerful there as he runs into range there. Landing a good couple there. Now back to the close clinch. Spinning elbows from Jung. In the last 30 seconds here in the fight, he's got to let it all out. Throw the sink in there too.
Oh, I wonder what the striking numbers are.
He just doesn't do well against people with initials on the back of their biceps. That's what it is.
On to something here.
I'm telling you, mate. I'm telling you.
Oh.
Whoa! Clark putting some punctuation on this.
Looking to finish strong in this third round.
Oh!
Puts him down.
Mate!
Mount.
He sealed it in that.
Wow. Well, then that's says Ash. Devin Clark hugged him.
Yeah, like throughout.
93, 40, 54 for Clark. Oh, in terms of strikes, wow, okay.
I thought you meant like that's how you score in the rounds. Like, I mean, the score of the rounds could probably look the same too. Bro, I mean, he just threw a lot of looks onto Jung. He had to deal with the wrestling. He had to deal with the kicks as well. They came low and high, and also then the hands and the strikes, which are explosive and fast. So
says we roll on next week.
Yeah.
Well, no, we'll wait till the official decision is announced.
Yeah.
Draw is incoming. It's all right. This time next year, we will be millionaires. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
we got some better fights, I think, to put on next year.
To be honest,
next week.
If you lose one, it's nicer to lose it like just the £2 that you won rather than
please judges do a paddy, says Ash.
Please what?
Please, judges do a paddy.
Oh yeah, or even a Carl Nelson and what's his name? Do Ho fight that happened earlier. Make a draw.
No one got a point took away.
No. I mean, yeah, but even in that fight, it's like he can't win it now unless he knocks him out. That's what we felt going into the third. And he got a draw, which was great. Well, I mean, in my opinion, I just felt it was done dirty with that. point take. And in this one, he can't win unless it's a finish. So maybe
29, 30,
Yeah, there
27.
you go. There it is.
Oh, dearie me. We go back to 0. We start again next week.
£10.
Let's
Go back to
have a
£10. So you only have £2 off that.
It's only a £5 each. So next week's card, I'm going to have a look. Then to get an early little decision. I mean, not a final decision, but we'll have a look. Oh, it's going to be pretty tight. Ooh, I reckon me and Ash might go for Justin Tuffer to beat Parker Porter. Or we go for Jimmy Crute and Alonso Menifield's a difficult.
Porter's no slouch though. He impresses you when you might think least of him.
Obviously, losing against
if I was you guys,
Chase Sherman, but then I guess it's a tougher competition.
I would stay away from the heavybweight fights because they could go.
He lost to Jan Vandera, lost to Carlos Felipe. Don't know. This is a difficult one.
If I could say, I'll probably stay away from the heavyweight fights because some people can just they got heavy hitters there, and it can just be swayed with a big blow.
Yeah, I need to have a look before I make my decision on most confident. Maybe Jimmy Crute against Alonso Menifield. Menifield's a beast. Menifield lost to William Knight. Rah.
Looking at that wiki page, yeah, it's reminded me we haven't got the rankings up for the Tybura fight, heavyweight.
Oh, of course, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
we might have a quick chance to get into that. I mean, I guess it's fitting still. We're about to get into some heavyweights. So
so we can probably do it on the back end of the show.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
Yeah.
Damn. Join us for the first time. Don't forget to whack a like on the video, of course. Let's get it going. Tyson Pedro might be the most confident at the moment, says Cage IQ. Yeah, I can probably see that. We've had Modestus on the channel before. Don't want to put too much allegiance on him.
Mate.
Of course, he's coming off of a win in Cage Warriors, which is great.
He's done well.
But had quite a bit of an up and down stint in the UFC last time out. Tyson Pedro is a bit of an animal, so
his only losses have
the whole
come.
card, it could be Tyson Pedro.
His only losses have come in the UFC. Like the guy is still. You look at his record. The guy's pretty sick still. You know. Don't count him out for either of those losses. It's in some ways you can almost watch those fight backs and wish more from him because he's got the tools. You just didn't deploy him, and it almost maybe looked like a more of a mental thing rather than a physical thing. Because I think he was capable for winning those fights that he had been matched up in.
Well, he was 10-2 before he entered the UFC. Was Modestus, and now he's 13-5. 3 losses in the UFC. Jimmy Crute, Olashajik.
What was that streak before?
Khalil Roundtree was obviously a devastating loss.
What's that streak there? I mean, you're talking about is 2 at the very front of his career?
Yeah, so before he entered the UFC, he was 10-2.
Yeah, so but the streak of wins there, he's got like a 8-win streak coming in.
Oh, coming in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7.
7-5 win streak. Yeah,
So,
in prison.
All right. We've got Angus in the house.
What's good,
It's
Angus?
main event time, he says.
Yeah.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. Rise and shine. You setting the alarm clock for this?
Yeah.
I think we're
8
well
o'clock,
ahead of
mate.
schedule.
Everyone's up.
Sure.
Cage IQ says, who you got, Della Maddalena or Randy Brown? Mate, I love Jack Della Maddalena. He's one was in my ones to watch. Difficult fight against Randy Brown, of course. Randy Brown's going to hopefully be effective at keeping the fight at range. However, seeing his most recent fights, especially against Trinaldo, I think Jack Della Maddalena can get on the inside and cause some damage. So
that sniping.
that's one of my most intriguing fights of the card, to be honest, I think. Maddalena against Randy Brown.
Personally, I reckon you got that sniping shot sort of pissed of a hand from Randy Brown. Then, Maddalena's had experience there. He can slip and get on the inside, like you said. But also at the same time, I think he will have to overcome adversity in that fight. Randy Brown, Jack
I mean, we
Della
get to
Maddalena.
see it, really.
We've seen him sort of overcome adversity before, I guess, outside of the UFC. But I think he's capable of that. He can get through tough times.
Okay.
But in terms of his toughest tests, he's this is probably going to be one of the toughest ones for him.
For sure. Tommy's in the house. He says, all right, Shaggers. Yes, Tommy.
What's up,
Good
Chumster?
morning, sir. Morning, sir.
How are we?
What have you got planned for today? Happy Sunday. 8 a.m. main event. This feels odd. Damo, did you catch some sleep? Did you fall asleep a little bit there?
Yeah, do you guys wake up and just flick on the, are you having breakfast, have a cup of tea, sit down, turn on YouTube, and hey, it's Cy and JK in the morning.
Exactly.
Cy and JK in the morning.
That's a Community reference if you ever watch Community.
Solid. I did that by
Tommy
accident,
says,
but
just
how about
started work. Oh, man, working on a Sunday.
have they seen Knockouts before? I don't
He's
know if they've
walking.
seen
No, they're yeah. If you let us know in the chats if you've watched Community before, great show.
Quality.
But that's the reference to that. Damon says I took my dog for a walk. I mean, to be fair, right decision. Right decision. But we've got Sergey Spivak walking.
We
out
are
now.
there. Hold on, boys. I think we'll do it at the end of the event. I'll take that 12-0.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. So shall we get into it?
Yep.
So we've got Sergey Spivak walking out now. He's a pro record of 15 wins and 3 losses, 7 KOs and 6 subs, 9 first-round knockouts as well. UFC stats, he's 6 wins and 3 losses. His UFC debut was back in 2019 on the 2-fight win streak at this point in time, and he's never been submitted.
That's right, and he's an orthodox fighter with a wide stance, clean conventional striking, high guard, flat-footed power puncher with straight shots down the barrel. His straight right hand is one of his best weapons. He's well-rounded in the wrestling and striking abilities. Will put you up against the fence and wear on you by making you carry his weight. Likes to go second in the exchanges. He will map out his strikes after he gauges what you've got. In his fight against Tuivasa, he managed to read and catch the low leg kick and take him down off of it. And, we could very much see that against Derrick Lewis, because even though Derrick Lewis is a power puncher himself, he doesn't have a tendency to throw out the odd slow low kick. So, it's going to be intriguing to see that. Hopefully no low leg kicks from Derrick Lewis, though. But, yes, what's the history points for Derrick Lewis?
All right, so pro record of 26 wins and 10 losses, 21 knockouts and 1 sub. Yeah, 1 sub, believe it or not. 8 first-round finishes. UFC stats, so in the UFC, he's got 17 wins and 8 losses. His UFC debut was back in 2014, and he lost in his last 2 outings. Most KOs in heavyweight history. This guy is recognized for being the Black Beast because of the way he devours his prey.
Orthodox fighter, heavy hands with knockout power like none other. Blue belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, ground and pound gorilla. Dangerous on top with second most knockdowns. Knockouts by ground strikes. He might be a big guy, but you'll see him attempt flying knees and nasty left switch kicks as well. Likes to play possum before exploding on an unexpected opponent with power. This man has very dangerous hands and is effective at landing on the break too. Although he did fall short of that against Tybura, of course. He's not very confident in other skills, but he is very confident in his power, and that's all you have to say, really. No. It is Black Beast time. Some chat before we get to the expectations. Tommy says 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. Orshk. Damien says, I feel bad for the fighters. It's 3 a.m. there. Oh, that's true. So you might get some sluggy performances. Yeah. Mike Lou, welcome into the house, my brother. And don't forget to pop a like on the video. It says, who you guys think going to win? I personally picked Sergey Spivak in this one. I think he gets it down to the ground and mauls Derrick Lewis, I'm afraid. Angus says, Kevin Lee looks to have re-signed with the UFC. Is that correct? I know he had a photo with Dana. I wasn't sure if it was an old one or not. That's pretty good if it is. I'd like to see the next resurgence of Kevin Lee. He's been on multiple resurgences. Hopefully he's got things down to a T, and hopefully we can see him back to his best in the bestest organisation, of course. Sir Smooth is in the house. He says, my stream just cut out. Get the stream back on, Sir Smooth. Black Beast time, he says. Yes, welcome on in. Don't forget to slap a like on the video, of course. Good to see you back as always, Sir Smooth. And hopefully we'll see you next week for the big pay-per-view as well.
Yep.
Let us know if you're watching it. Damian Collins says, Lewis is the Apex Go never lost. Wow, there you go. Damo giving us the fun facts there.
Love that, Damo.
It's true, you see him.
He has a place of victory and he has his places for poor performances. And that will be a reference to Texas as of late. Oh, he has had a win there before, but as of late, it's been a bit of a, as you tend to say, bad omen. And here he goes, taking his time in prayer, I'd imagine, but just centralizing himself before stepping on in. Let's get into some expectations here because, look, Spivak wasted no time in taking down Sakai in his last fight. I feel like he'll want to do the exact same thing here against Lewis. However, it could be more difficult against a much bigger guy. Usually, Spivak does like to secure the body lock and just get on the inside trip, but I think the best route here would actually be picking at Lewis apart at range, frustrating him at the time of entries, and then sort of being able to sort of make that sort of takedown then at that point, basically. But like if he does secure that takedown, I can actually see him letting off some heavy ground and pound. However, I want to see him be more patient with it this time. He does have 5 rounds as well, so I would actually prioritize making Lewis work probably over then sort of making him hurt. Let's say that. But it's evident that his path to victory here would be on the ground or in those later rounds as well. So although we've never seen Spivak in a 5-round fight before, I think he does favor in a sort of cardiovascularly wise as it goes later on. Although Derrick Lewis has been doing some training, I've seen some of his Instagram. He's been doing quite well there. But a win here would actually open the door to the top ends of the division, I think, for sure. If you're looking at it from Spivak's point of view, anyone who's beaten Lewis has become someone up there.
Yeah, this is kind of like his biggest test to date, of course, as well. And as for Derrick Lewis, though, I think he needs to anticipate the pace that Spivak might want to fight at tonight, especially early on in those dying few seconds in the first round. And I think he will want to let off one of those heavy bombs to get Spivak to question his entries a bit, being the takedown artist that is Spivak. Spivak. He could be forced to fight off of his back foot again, similar to what we saw against Pavlovich. I personally would like to see Lewis initiate the clinch and look for takedowns of his own. However, it's not usually in his nature. Lewis will want to make this fight as brawlsome as possible.
Yeah.
It may take mind games in order to get Spivak to engage with him, but the longer it goes on, the less likely he is to get the hand raised, in my opinion. He will want to make quick work of Spivak for sure. That's no joke. In his last win against Chris Daukaus, he definitely done that against a bigger, slower guy. He's been vocal about 5-round fights before, and I'm surprised he actually took this one, He said he was done with all those kind of fights, and, it's not great cardiovascular-wise. And you got to think, on the hand, he's been granted this fight, this spot, to be the headliner. I guess maybe the headliner means more money, of course, maybe, in a way. Or it's the fact that he's looked at it and gone, okay, maybe I should apply myself a little bit more.
Yeah, but also the losses he's come off the back of, he needs to. They're
against freaks.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, they're all sitting up there. But anyone who's beaten him have had that treatment to the top end of the division, haven't they? So of course, it's all about Pavlovich as well.
The Pavlovich stoppage was too early as well.
Yeah, he could do, but when you saw what he did to Tybura, you're like, yeah, do you know what? His hands are legit. Yeah. I mean, I tell you what, if we felt the power, we'll probably be like that. Do you know what? That's right.
Get ready with that timer. Damien says
stop
Lewis
that when the win.
Lewis in the 25-foot cage is pound for pound king. First move says great night of fights. A little of everything. Yeah, for sure, man. Have you managed to stay up this whole time? Let us know. Did you even watch Bellator as well? Like Cage My IQ did, because he's still staying awake and keeping with it. Damien says, let's not forget, look, Derrick was the last man to defeat Francis by unanimous decision. Yeah, I know. I guess you say what you want about that fight, but there's a trip early from Spivak. After Derrick Lewis engaged with the clinch first.
Whoa. Did you feel that?
Yeah, there was a bit of a rumble in
there. Man.
Cage My IQ says, remember the fight was supposed to take place 2 months ago. That is true. And,
got pushed
pulled out
back
last minute because Derrick Lewis had a stomach bug of some kind.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I remember that one. That was.
And Kenny Nzechukwu versus Q Talaba took the mantle.
All of a sudden, Spivak is very confident here.
Yeah, but we're seeing him try and maintain position first, trying to get some strikes off. Derrick Lewis looks to be trying to get back to his feet here.
Yeah.
Spivak in a good position to land strikes from the back. But he's on full mount.
Oh, no.
Full mount.
Come on, D. Let's go, Derrick.
And trying to escape here.
Yo.
He made a comment in the press conference saying about Dan Murgulata and how he didn't want him refereeing his fights anymore because of the early stoppages and things like that. But who have we got in there at the moment?
Oh, yeah.
And
Literally just
John
mentioned it.
Gooden's just taking a mention of it here. I'm actually not sure who's the ref.
I can't remember.
Oh, Derrick's back to his feet.
And he's down.
It's actually
Mark Goddard.
Mark Goddard. Spivak.
He should have asked for Herb Dean. He lets it go till you dead.
Exactly. Yeah, to be fair, he did actually. He said, give me Herb Dean.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah, there you go. You know, Herb Dean will not be stopping it. Oh, bro.
Who did Sadiq Yusuf go for in this fight?
Oh, man. Constant here. He went with Lewis, Derrick Lewis.
Yeah.
Of course he did. It's again, there's got to be
the onslaught from Spivak, constantly dragging Lewis back down over and over again.
It is like a polar bear on its prey, isn't it? Like the waves just in his hands. And oh wow, the fact that Lewis is just getting up again and again and again after getting put down.
It's gonna be taxing though. It's gonna be taxing.
It's very taxing. And look at those high hips from Spivak as well. It's not gonna be. It's going to be real difficult for Lewis to...
Well, this right now says Damien. I mean, this is what you expect from Spivak, I'm afraid.
Oh, now it's going to be more successful. He's going to tap.
Squeeze on hand. That's it. That's a tap from Derrick Lewis.
Man.
Sergey Spivak makes quick work.
Another one.
And he will advance in the rankings. Another finish from Spivak, mate. Let's have a look now, because this guy's on a run.
Here we go.
He's on the run. He's coming for the top echelon of the division now. That's three back-to-back finishes.
That's tough, Derrick.
Since losing to Tom Aspinall, Spivak is on the rise. There we go. Greg Hardy, Gustav Sakai, now Derrick Lewis. Derrick Lewis couldn't get into this fight. That's what we're saying in the expectations, you know? Put a pace on Derrick Lewis early, and this is what happens.
Yeah.
You know?
But also, the power that was there, Derrick Lewis, he did kind of run into it. And what's the best way to avoid a submission or a takedown? Is just having a solid stand-up so you don't get yourself in that position in the first place. You can have takedown defense, but if you don't put yourself in those positions to get taken down, that's another way to do it too. And he just put himself in those positions and the defense wasn't there.
I think he just lacks a little bit of athleticism, really.
Yeah.
You know, Spivak was very...
We saw him lose all that weight and do that running, and he looked exactly the same tonight as he did.
Yeah, to be honest,
he whacked it right back on.
Done it dirty, to be honest. Like, I think that pick made him look slimmer.
Yeah, I mean, that's some Photoshop there. That's some Photoshop right there.
Or he got slim and then was like, I'm actually below the heavyweight limit, and I got a fight booked, and then was like, I'm going to put it all back on. I don't know. It didn't really look that different to what we've seen him previously, to be fair.
Yeah.
This fight is fun, says Damien. Tapped, says the Cage My IQ. Wow, says Ash.
Yeah.
Cully's in the house. Yes, Cully.
What's up, Cully? Look at me, mate.
Lewis is finished, he says. Look, yeah, but what is next for Derrick Lewis? Honestly, we should probably get into the rankings to discuss it, because, you know, is it time to hang up? Let's see if he does it in the post-fight interview, because look, where are we at now, Lewis? Like,
he's having a tough time, is all. No, he's not ready to hang up the gloves. No way. He is still the gatekeeper.
The UFC can't give him these headline slots, though.
No, 3-round fights he needs. But even then, just don't give him a wrestler.
Yeah, pop a like on the video, guys, if you're impressed by Spivak's performance there.
Saying that, Pavlovich wasn't a wrestler.
No, he was just a gorilla.
Like, heavy hitter. And, you know, don't give him a wrestler. Don't give him someone who punches hard. Do you know what I mean? Give him someone from a lower weight class. Yeah, do that. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
what says, mate, I just hate it when it's wrestling matches, man. I mean, look, man, this is the sport, though, isn't it? It's martial art.
The Pavlovich fight wasn't wrestling versus striker.
Got a submission.
You know?
It was supposed to be a heavyweight. I mean, well, I don't know what to say. Cage My IQ says Spivak will move up to 7. Making waves. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Trenton Jester, welcome in, buddy.
Yes, what's up, Trenton?
Do you think Spivak will get 2 takedowns? Well, he definitely did. Just
He got like 18?
Yeah.
Blimey, that's relentless, isn't it, winning?
Cage Q says, give Lewis jail to Almeida. Oh.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Why would you want to do that? No.
Hey, Derrick Lewis ain't taking that fight, mate.
No.
But it's a good fight. It's a good fight to get Gelson and Almeida in the rankings. And
Absolutely.
I would be all for that option. And I think the UFC are going to do that with Gelson and Almeida. I think they're going to bring him up because he's a potential star in Brazil for sure. That was this week, says Smooth. I mean, look, you got to question Derrick Lewis. Really, you got to question his mindset coming into these fights. Has he still got it?
Yeah, I was impressed at his ability to keep getting up after getting dragged down. Yeah, but when he stepped on that head and arm at the end, I was like, yeah, he definitely does not have the gas now. The first time around, he fought it off because, you know, that was pre-18 takedown attempt. I say attempt successfully done. So yeah, there's a decision, and let's get into the rankings.
Yeah. Oh, Ash is...
That's definitely not Ash's. Glad it froze on him. It's like he never left.
Right, yeah, he's been in the whole time.
He's
got to remember, Lewis has already fought majority of the top 15, says Occasion IQ. That is true. But he, you know, he's going to get picked off against these up and comers. You know, I think Derrick Lewis versus Marcin Tybura is a good fight if he wants to stick around, or you know. Has he fought Tybura? I think he fought Tybura.
I would have thought he's done it already, but yeah, I mean, we can run that.
Yeah, he has, and he's beaten Tybura before. So I'd still be interested to see Lewis versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik, personally, because Rozenstruik is a smaller guy. He's not going to grapple. He's not going to wrestle. He's going to throw hands. So for all of those factors, I think it's a good fight for Derrick Lewis.
Yeah.
However, Rozenstruik, no, he hasn't got a fight booked. I thought he had. I think he was. My bad. Okay, but so yeah, there's my pick for Lewis. Where's this ranking screen, bro?
I don't know if it's not going to
put it in.
Well, it's definitely there. I'm plugging it.
You didn't put it in.
No, so I had to plug. So I just had to copy it in a file. But that is it.
Oh,
it's still not working because it's plugged now.
Right.
It's not
Okay.
working.
Well, I'll still continue talking about it nonetheless.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I would say for Derrick Lewis. As for Spivak, though, who's going to move into that top position, Volkov, I think Spivak would get... I know it sounds crazy. Well, no, it's just... I don't know. That's what these fights are mad because you've got Alexander Volkov versus Alexander Romanov. If Romanov beats Volkov... Well, I guess Tybura will probably move up then because Tybura's got a win over Romanov. So, but I think Spivak could get Tybura next. I think that would be the fight to make.
Spivak and Tybura.
I think they fought before. Yeah.
I mean, where's Tybura in the
makes sense.
Where's Tybura in the rankings?
Tybura is.
Or where did he go after this win? He's 10 now.
He's nowhere because he beat Ivanov, who's below him.
Okay,
so he'll remain in at number 10. And
what's his win streak?
Spivak will be above him.
Only one.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that'll come next then for Spivak? Who's climbing?
Well, yeah, because if it's you're looking ahead of that for Spivak, you could do Spivak tied to Avasa, which I guess isn't a bad shout. But he's already lost to Tom Aspinall, so it's not going to be Tom Aspinall.
Yeah, gain ranking, defend ranking, usually, right? Yeah,
actually, he has a win already against Taito Avasa.
Oh, he has?
Back in 2019, so some time ago. Do you run it back? Do you not? It's going to be intriguing where they put him in the rankings. Do the UFC decide to go lower?
Put him in at 7, and he's like underneath those guys, and you might have to go Curse Blade.
I don't know what Ash is on about in the chat, but stop distracting us. Yeah, so I think maybe they won't run it back.
I'll go to
drop 2 of Avasa down and then put Aspinall up, which would make sense, and then you put Spivak below Aspinall. I think that's what I would do if I was the UFC in terms of rankings. But then you're looking at Spivak. Who are you going to fight next? Because you'd have to defend your ranking against the winner of Volkov and Romanov. As crazy as it sounds.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a bit of a funny one, but matchup wise, I think Tybura would make the most sense. Yeah, actually, no, that could still happen. Yeah, Tybura fight would still happen. Just be Spivak would be ranked above him. Both. Tybura's just defended his ranking. Spivak would be defending his. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's how that will play out.
Yeah, it makes sense. And
I think grappling-wise is an interesting one. Tybura is quite a physical presence, and I think can cause problems for Spivak, maybe. But can Spivak still take Tybura down? I think he probably can. Yeah, and maybe it could be the same outcome, personally. We'll get to some chats. We've also got to... Well, I guess we've already touched upon the Tybura... what's next for Ivanov? I think he'd probably fight somebody outside the rankings again.
It's quite fun about this one. Is we can do that and just put the old matchup at the bottom as if it's happened already.
Yeah, there you go.
Tybura versus Spivak. There you go. We said it.
But yeah, and that was it. So going back to the heavyweight rankings in itself.
Yeah.
Gelton Almeida, I think, will get Chris Daukaus next, and that will be his gimme fight to enter. Push top 10. I think they'll probably do that. Let's get to the chats then. I know it's the sport. I'm just getting bored of it. I used to enjoy it, but now fighters just rely on it. At least Khabib would strike.
Yeah, let's not call it too soon. You know, we've still got some bangers in the year to come up.
Yeah,
and this was, I mean, let's not say that. Let's not let this event make any decisions for you, because this
event on paper, let's be honest,
it wasn't going to be. It wasn't going to be a fire event. It wasn't going to be.
It's a sad day for some of our most beloved fighters. Says Sir Smooth. He says first Laura, then Fedor. Now this. Lara. I don't know who Lara. Is that Bellator? I'm not caught up with Bellator. I know that Fedor lost though. However,
it's been a day. It's been a day.
If it's grappling exchanging, then it's interesting. But when it's one man throwing another man around with ease, just the same. I hope Volk beats Islam, he says. I don't, but I'm really excited for that fight. It's a stat card. Mate, we've got some bangings for next weekend, so make sure you.
Yeah, looking at this, you got Yair versus Josh Emmett. That's yet to happen. Jimmy Crute, of course, Alonzo Menefield. That's one that you said. And Jack Della Maddalena versus Randy Brown. So, yeah, there's a fair few things on there. Justin Taffa, Parker Porter. Yeah, it's hard. It's going to be hard for you guys to put a confident stake on any of these, I think.
It is.
I might go Yair Rodriguez versus Josh Emmett, personally. But then you got the power of Josh.
Emmett. Yeah, against the unorthodox kicks of Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I could maybe favour that one. Cage My IQ says Rosenstruck just beat Daukaus, so unless he fights back to fight Lewis, I don't see it happening. Yeah, I guess that's a good point actually to make. Yeah, because Derrick Lewis, will fall quite a bit.
Yeah, he's due to go down. And where's Rosenstruck now?
In at number 9, and I guess he did just defend his ranking against Chris Daukaus, but then
How
Chris
the
Daukaus was
mighty
coming off a
have
loss
fallen.
as well, I think, before that.
Would you give him would you run something back that low in the division? It's not that important, that low down. When you're in the top 5, it's quite important to run something back. But
I mean, it's kind of difficult for Rosenstruck anyway, really. In terms of what you give him.
He's fought everyone. He's gone for everyone already.
Yeah, I mean, you could give him Tom Aspinall, of course, who's going to come back from injury at some point soon. But is the UFC going to hope that they're going to put Aspinall into a title picture and potentially rematch Blades? I don't know. Or fight Sergey Pavlovich, of course. Don't know. There's a lot of fights to be made in this heavyweight division. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Cage My Q says Spivak already beat Tuivasa by sub. Yeah.
You could see Lewis and Aspinall. Don't.
What? No.
I mean, they're both coming off a loss, but
Derrick Lewis.
Yeah.
Who's now slipping down past the top 10 against Tom Aspinall, who before that was on an absolute run before he got injured against Blades. Not happening.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
Cage My Q says Spivak versus Tybura and Almeida versus Daukaus. Yep, so Cage My Q is with me on those future fight picks as well. It'd be interesting to get Ash's take on this. It's a shame that he's not in here for it. Hopefully he will catch up with it on social media. Damien says the next 3 pay-per-views will be the same. Jones is going to grapple Garn. I don't know the size. I'm not convinced. I can't wait to get into that fight though, for sure. Obviously, I'm sticking with Garn the whole way around, but
yeah,
I just think the
full...
jump for Jones is going to be too much. And he's going to lose quite a bit of athleticism, in my opinion.
And every fight starts standing as well, so I doubt it's going to be a full grappling affair.
Although I can see him potentially catching kicks and taking Garn down that way. So
catching kicks?
To see. I mean, if Ngannou can take Garn down, and of course so can John Jones, but I don't know, man.
We got to see him first this week.
Grapple Volk, and Usman going to grapple Leon, and watch Izzy grapple Alex. Damien with the... That's a good point. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Anything can happen in these fights, of course. Tom said he wants a top 15 on his return. Don't want deep end straight away. Okay, so yeah, maybe we could see a Sergey Spivak fight for Tom Aspinall or Rosenstruck. Yeah, okay. Right. Fair point, Damo. Good stuff. Good that Damo's in on the content that Aspinall was putting on. Let's recap this event then.
I think it all started going to a bit of a grappling affair ever since Damon made that comment really about Francis Ngannou becoming a grappler now. From that moment on, we've not seen much else.
Yeah.
All right, shall we?
Yeah. Bosh, there's the card. Kicking it off the night, of course, was the welterweight division, and Adam Fugitt picking up the TKO win in round 1 against Yusaku Kinoshita, the young 22-year-old, I believe. Putting him away in which was his second loss, but arguably the first one.
Yeah,
was a disqualification.
Yeah, I mean, that was his debut, of course, as well, for Kenosha. So we was hoping to see some big things. Really impressed with what he's done outside of UFC. But, evidently, you got the more experienced fighter getting the job done. And therefore, I think it's lessons for Kenosha for his next fight. I love to see him again. I think he can probably pick up on some learnings there on that particular loss. So we can see him again sort of doing some good things and just being more of a stand-up thing. But if that was, again, something more of a stand-up affair, I would have preferred Kenosha in the striking, as we had seen him previously. But
for sure. He kind of bringing a little bit more of a diversity to his game.
I had noticed that Fugitt is quite susceptible to that right down the pipe. But Kenosha never really had an opportunity.
No. Then moving on to the second fight then. In the featherweight division, we had Duho Choi and Kyle Nelson going to a majority draw. Interesting fight, of course. I think Kyle Nelson putting on a grappling affair against Choi. And I felt that in the first round, Choi done a good job at reversing the position against Nelson and winding up on top. And it was quite back and forth. And I think wasn't there a submission attempt as well in that first round? But Kyle Nelson, second round. I think he wobbled Choi, didn't he, early on? But then Choi looked like he was going to come back into the fight a little bit. And that third round, I think Choi took the third round, didn't he? Although he got a point deducted. Yeah. To make it a draw.
Yeah, absolutely. And so if the point wasn't deducted and Choi would have won it, it didn't really look like that in terms of everything that happened. I don't think it was fair that point got deducted. I think something might have happened behind. You can't really say for sure, to be honest. But ultimately, I'm just glad Choi didn't lose that one because he's an exciting fighter. And we've seen him do some great things in the past. And I think he's got a great future in the UFC. He's just been going through some absolute killers as of late. And this fight should have been his, but let's hope
he comes back. Let's hope he comes back, of course.
Yeah, Nelson had a great strategy for it too.
Military duty. Then moving on in the heavyweight division, Marcin Tybura picking up the decision against Blagoy Ivanov in what it was a back and forth fight. It felt like Tybura was doing a good job at the wrestling aspect, but the striking exchanges were a little bit difficult. Ivanov was, I think, doing a good job at catching Tybura as he was entering into range, and Tybura was having a hard time, I think, was gauging that distance.
Yeah, true. I mean, he was a taller fighter, a longer reach. He should have been utilizing those tools from the off. And it did take him a bit. You could see there's a period of figuring it out, wasn't it? You know, he was just running into the guard and getting caught in those counters from Ivanov. So, yeah, great on the counters from Ivanov, but ultimately, job well done from Tybura going to the decision. And I think it all came down to that last round, fully dominating his prey.
Yeah. That's cemented it, really. But, it was those grappling.
Took some time to work that out.
Which benefited him the most in that fight. And then, of course, in the co-main event, we had Devin Clark defeating Jung Da-un in the light heavyweight division, and that was via unanimous decision. All three judges scoring at 30-27 to Devin Clark, who, again, somebody else who wanted to put it on in the clinch exchanges and really made it a rough fight for Da-un Jung, especially against the cage, weared him out a little bit. Well, I think we had some good exchanges from Da-un Jung in various moments of the fight. He did manage to get a takedown at one point in the third round, but then was reversed by Devin Clark, and Devin Clark was able to put punctuation in that third round.
Yeah, certainly. I did think his last fight was a bit of an off performance on his part, and I thought I put it more down to him not bringing his best to that fight, rather than the DJ dinner off purely off his skill set, taking nothing away from DJ, of course, but ultimately, seeing him today, he generally was quite slow in some of those exchanges, and Devin Clark was definitely looking like the faster and the stronger guy in and outside of those clinch exchanges.
Yeah, I think it came down to a lot of the explosiveness that he brings to the game, of course. His last opponent was quite explosive in himself.
Yeah.
He was also a wrestler. So
Jung didn't even get to play at his advantage, which was the reach and range,
Yeah, Devin Clark was just
Devin Clark was never there for it.
All off. And then, of course, in the main event itself, which we've just seen, Sergey Spivak picking up the first round submission victory against Derrick Lewis. That was via arm triangle, and he will now advance on in the heavyweight division. And, of course, Derrick Lewis, another loss for him. Another setback, of course, and, another first round loss.
Yep. Yeah, fundamentally, it's sad to see, to be honest, with Derrick Lewis. What comes next for him is a very big question, because we want it to be a very winnable one. But ultimately, it's a job well done from Sergey.
But Spivak did exactly what we said he was going to do.
Yeah,
and getting Lewis's face early.
I just thought it'd be a little bit of a Rosen's, was it Curtis? Blades versus Lewis sort of outcome, going in and that shovel come and catch him sort of thing,
I think the previous two fights of Derrick Lewis have kind of proved what you need to do, really. You need to just get in his face early and make it rough for him, make it uncomfortable, because clearly, it's winning on the mental edge, and something happens.
It's not just that.
Something clicks in Derrick Lewis where he just kind of, shells up and doesn't quite get back on any offense.
Yeah, but it's not just that. It's the wrestling too with him. Bring that to the game, and it really sort of upsets things. But I mean, for Spivak, it's great. Beat Derrick Lewis, and all of a sudden, it's a halo effect. All of a sudden, you're a top boy. So he's got the whole upper part of the division open to him now.
Fight of the night, bit of a difficult one in my opinion. I actually kind of want to give it to Devin Clark versus Da-un Jung personally, because it wasn't that exciting itself, but I think the fact that me and Ash had 12 pounds running on the outcome made it the most entertaining fight.
To be honest with you, as well, in terms of nothing's blown my hair back in terms of fight of the night tonight, but I would probably put it on Choi. They went the distance, had a draw, but ultimately it was quite decent for what it was. I think backs and forwards, great performance from Carl Nelson. Either that or the first one on the card, Fugitt and Kinoshita. It was very quick. Performance of the night, I would give to Devin Clark. Yeah. Great performance. Yeah. Very good performance.
And like I said beforehand, I wasn't really too much of a fan of Devin Clark's abilities. But he did.
Went out there and showed you,
yeah, he showed it and proved me wrong.
Here's one though, that we don't usually do on cards. This is what I mentioned to you earlier in the watch long that I thought I'd do. Disappointment of the night. What did you want to see happen? Didn't happen. What disappointed you the most on the card? Don't just talk about the money, I guess, but what else?
I mean,
it'd have to be.
Did you just answered your own question? Moving on. Anyhow, getting on back then to the main point of.
Only because you had money on it.
Well, yeah. I mean, apart from that, I would have said Doo-Ho Choi.
Yeah, same.
because I wanted him to see him throw hands.
Same.
Basically. So
Yeah.
But yeah, didn't see it. Yeah, let's get some chats then. Head on back. Let's get to these guys in the chats. So Smooth says, who was the last light heavyweight that came up to heavyweight and won a title? Probably Daniel Cormier. So I get it. Yeah, I see what you're saying, what you're looking at here with John Jones. If Cormier can do it, so can John Jones, of course. But for me, I think Daniel Cormier already had that frame for heavyweight, I think.
Yeah.
And his body type is quite athletic for that frame. Whereas
DC?
John Jones, yeah. Unreal athletic.
Okay, I guess I'm thinking of him now, to be fair.
Yeah. Look at him now. But yeah, whereas John Jones, I think you think who's made the biggest of jumps in terms of weight gain, it's John Jones, and he was quite skinny at light heavyweight. Damien says Francis is the best grappler in the UFC, never been subbed. Charles has. Francis hasn't. That's levels. Good answer, says Smooth. Didn't DC
I love Damon with the
start
stats.
heavy though? Exactly, and yeah, that goes to my point. What I said a second ago in Strikeforce he was. Kane being a heavyweight is why he fought at light heavyweight. True, says KJMQ. So Smooth says, if John actually wins this fight, it will be the greatest achievement ever, in my opinion. Yeah, you make arguments for it, especially being away for so long, coming back to the sport and beating somebody who's in the modern game. There's a fair argument for it. If you look at what GSP did, of course, kind of mirrors it a little bit. He was out for some time, went up a weight class and won the belt straight away. But he beat someone like Michael Bisping, who was around at the same era that he was. So, yeah, there's arguments to be made for sure. And look, we could talk about this till the cows come home. Absolutely. Throw in the long layoff, of course, he says, and Lewis might want to call it. Has not looked good lately at all.
I think as fight fans, we do have a habit of seeing 3 losses and saying, right, yeah, can't get him out of there. But to be honest, it's not bad.
If I want to see Derrick Lewis again, it's going to be against somebody.
We did this earlier.
Again, but first fight of a main card pay-per-view. That's where you put him.
Yeah, first fight on the paper. Yeah, fair enough. Early on in the day.
We're still going to remember him as this kind of power puncher. But if he gets done in the first,
he's just got an audience, which is why. But yeah, I mean, there's always an argument. It's like, oh, why is he first on the pay-per-view? It's just weird. But then also, it's just like, yeah, you want to get the people in at the front end.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to have something exciting on the first fight, and then obviously for the co-main and main,
and
keep
you
them around.
can guarantee a finish, of course.
Yeah, get him in the doors early and not get him in late.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, fair enough. You want someone who doesn't wrestle. You want someone who doesn't punch too hard. So you just kind of want to you want to see him win, is what you want to do.
Yeah, I think Pavlovich is just different beast.
Yeah, he's built different.
Yeah, he says Lewis has to move forward or he struggles. So Smooth says just being real.
Fight too well off the back foot.
Damien says disappointment of the card was the card. Yeah, I mean, look, we had no expectations coming into this, but look, thanks for tuning in as always, guys. Because look, passionate fans here, still tuning in,
the real deal,
still watching,
the real deal,
still staying loyal. Occasional IQ said Almeida would out-grapple Francis. Ooh, interesting. Maybe. Damien says John wants to fight Francis Gracie's son. Francis had 100% submission attempt rate. That one time he went for it and got it. All right, okay. Right, that's great for sounding off. Guys, thanks again for tuning in. As always, don't forget to smash a like on the video and hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Be sure to hit the notifications button as well, because we've got some content coming up in the week. We're going to have a breakdown show for UFC 284, which is the next one. Makhachev versus Volkanovski, champion versus champion. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And of course, the details to follow for the watch along. So make sure you're a part of that. Mm-hmm. We've got a link in the description for our Discord if you want to be a part of that. That's where the chat continues to go. And, any things you want us to talk about, MMA related, do hit in the Discord and get other people's opinions on matters. We've also got the link to the Fanatics Fight League of ours, which I'm going to do a bit of an update on to see who won this event.
While you check that, also don't forget we have our website, atfmma.com. Go check that out for all of your latest MMA UFC news, basically. We're giving the full coverage.
Yes, Angus has been in the chats. He's the
editor
of the
page.
website. So yeah, do make sure.
Great content, interesting reads.
Check that out. And I finished second, unfortunately. Ben Lawrence finished third. And the winner was Omnishwin. I think that's meant to be our boy Ashwin on Twitter there. So
nice. Go on,
props
Ashwin.
to you. TFC IV MMA finished joint fourth with Ash. You finished sixth. And McDustin, Taylor Simon's in at 10th. So look,
Now in a running race now.
Look at that.
Okay.
That's overall in the leaderboard. For tonight, though, Ben Lawrence was actually top. Oh, actually, yeah. Position, it says joint top, but that doesn't make sense. He's got more points. Ben Lawrence in at top there, of course. I'm joint second. No, this leaderboard's so iffy.
You guys are joint first, apparently. I'm joint fourth.
Yeah, apparently so, but I think it's down for points. It says 5 picks, 70 for Ben Lawrence. I got 48, but then the guy above me's got 46.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's strange. For example, above me is 41. So put me in third. So, yeah, but Ben, you and me, I think, if you're judging it that way. But we'll look at the other league for now. But otherwise, decent effort. Effort.
So that's the Fanatics that we were just talking about. So get involved with that, of course.
We have fighters in there too. Sadiq Youssef is in there himself, and so is Matt Semmelsberger, who he did do picks. He just didn't log them down, but he did do very interesting picks on his Instagram channel. Very funny video.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen it, go check it out.
Peace out, fam. Yes, see you next week.
See you later, bro. Take care.
Good stream, guys. Says Cage MyQ. Thank you for tuning in as always.
Thanks for being here, bro.
We'll see you next week.
Appreciate love.
Sign off, he says. Yep, and so
nice.
Peace. All right. Thanks again, guys. And
awesome.
We'll see you next week. Ciao for now.
Don't watch alone, watch along. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye for now.